Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Welcome to the Timeless Gamer Show, where our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain timeless. And the show is now streaming live in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And for all of our archive videos of our previous episodes, you can still check out our YouTube channel. They're all there, Timeless Gamer Show. And you can also check out our website, timelessgamers.com. And you can also listen to us talk by going to the major audio streaming platforms out there. Just try searching Timeless Gamer Show. And we would also like to take this opportunity to show our appreciation to BitMap Books and Streamyard for allowing us to be one of their official affiliates. And quick shout out to our Retromancy cohorts out there, Studio.ph, Shuffle Emporium, and Retro Unlimited. And also a shout out to our retro gaming friends from the Sega Mega Masters podcast and the Retro Gamers Collectors of the Philippines. Oh, and previously on the Timeless Gamer Show, so we discussed some one-hit wonders. All right, games that are so good they didn't get any sequels. For better or for worse, stayed single. So if you guys are curious on what we talked about on that particular episode, you know what to do. You just go to the sets, go to the sites that I've mentioned, and for this particular episode for tonight, on our way to our centennial episode. So we are already on our 99th episode. So we decided for tonight. This is like this episode came about as a response of sorts in with this particular video about this couple talking about what if one of them is a gamer and what would their life be like if one of them would be so addicted to gaming that it might ruin their relationship. And we're like, okay, so how about talking to people who are actually living the dream, so to speak. All right. uh,
Okay.
so for this episode, it's
Nice
living with a gamer. All right,
This is
living with a
very
gamer.
fun. Yeah, we did karaoke on that, really.
Take my joys. No, I'm not gonna stick. So for this panel, we invited all of the couples here within our ranks within here in Retromancy. So starting off, we got the Manyagang native family and the ex-girlfriend, Sir Joel and Miss Teresa.
Yes, hello, hello. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. This is the Banyagang native and my ex-girlfriend, now wife. And we welcome everybody to this very special episode of Timeless Gamer Show, where we discuss how it is living with a gamer. And I'll tell you one thing, it can be rough, especially, considering how much of a gamer my missus is. But yes, the stories will be out there as we go. So back to you, John.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Joel. And of course, say hi to Sir Jomar and with Miss Tenny.
Hello, hi. So I'm
Ay,
Gomarot,
common
and I'm here
sense.
with my employer. She
Combined.
provides all the funds for my you know my vices.
Mhm.
Right? Okay, that's
All right.
it.
Thank you for that, Sir Jomar and Miss Tenny. Uh, and of course, we got the people from Studio.ph, Sir Ray and Miss Mara.
It's boss ko sa studio. Ito yung boss na, ito, kung ako yung marketing, yung director, ito yung boss.
Yes,
So, it's
she's the
side
CEO.
note lang, napaka ang gandang tignan sa screen that we guys
Mhm.
kasama yung mga natin, significant others natin.
Mhm.
So, may singit pa ako sa gitna.
Mhm.
So, yun. Hopefully,
The heiress.
maganda yung discussion natin. So,
Mhm.
it's nice to see the significant others of the, the people behind Retromance Incorporated, Shuffle Emporium, and yeah, Studio PH and Timeless Gamers.
All right. Thank you
May
for that,
sasabihin ka
Sir
ba?
Ray.
Amen.
Mamaya.
Patay.
Mamaya maglalaglagan.
All the dirty laundry goes out
All the
later in the
dirty
show.
laundry.
Right?
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Ray and Miss Mara. And of course, um, the ones going to be helming the show for this evening, we got Shin and Miss Momo.
Hello po sa inyo.
Everyone.
Hi, kasama ko rin po ang aking boss,
Mhm.
at saka manager and supervisor.
Mhm.
At yeah, this is actually a very interesting show because this is actually something that I know is going to happen eventually, but didn't know it's going to happen soon. It's going to be an interesting episode tonight, I believe. Don't you think?
Yes, because rarely we have this kind of a talk between a husband and wife playing a game.
I have a gun for help. But anyways, like tawag dito, we do have a lot of questions na natin ibabatan natin dito. If
Yeah,
you
but
guys want
before
to,
before we before we ask the questions, Shin and Momo, let's also welcome Viraj. You know,
yes,
The person from the outside looking in.
yes,
It's just me. Just
yes,
me.
exactly. It's just yeah, we want your perspective too, Viraj. Like
That's
how you
what
observe everybody. Mhm.
Well, for me, it's a case of I'll be offering my perspective because, as some of you are already aware, I resell video games and I obviously serve couples, and it's very interesting monitoring and observing the dynamic between them and how one couple is completely different to another. And it's
Mhm.
very interesting to see how all of you are collectively. It is a pleasure to see your other halves, Sir Raymond has said. So it'd be good to sort of get to know you all a little bit better and get to ask you all sorts of questions, appropriate questions, PG-13 questions. Obviously, this is a family show, so
Yeah.
I'll keep my limits. I'll keep my control. I'll be decent. But it's good to see you all, and it should be a very interesting, thought-provoking show from an outsider like me looking in. Back to you.
just
All
making
right.
sure
Thank
that
you
none of
for
us
that,
are really
Sir
sitting at a
Viraj.
question line.
So for this evening, we got so with Sir Dan, unfortunately cannot be here in the show, but in spirit, he submitted he submitted his formal recording along with his better half with Miss Lindsay. So we will hear from them in accordance to the questions that will be asked here by Miss Momo and Shin. So let's get on with it. So take it away, brother.
All right. So of course, we're gonna start with like the most common question here, and that question happens to be, um, usually I would judge with like, kailan kayo nagsimula? How did you know? But let's try to skip away from that because we're pretty much talking about that chapter in our life as gamers, diba? So the first question I have for you guys here is, what are the challenges of dealing with a partner who is into their gaming lifestyle? sagutin niyo tong mga let's start with
So we can probably
quiz
start with Sir Dan for this.
yeah. Let's start with the with Sir Dan. Yes.
So the question is,
Yeah, I already did ask the question. It's like, what are the challenges of dealing with a partner who is into their gaming lifestyle?
the challenges of the gaming lifestyle.
Hello, Timeless Gamer crew. Dan here with my beautiful wife, Lindsay. We're talking how your partners get involved with gaming and that. So I'm going to fire some questions at my better half and see what she comes out with. So my first question then is, what are the challenges of dealing with a partner who is into the gaming lifestyle?
I think it's got to be the repetitive music.
Okay, so obviously, and I'm the type of person that if I play a tune, I play it over and over and over again, don't I?
Yes.
So, and I play a lot of arcade games, so if I die at a level, that'll get repeated too. So that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So,
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to bother you, but
of course it don't. I'm playing Thunder Force 3, so you know.
I guess that certainly does qualify as a challenge. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. I guess what about I guess we can go next to Quiz Joe on this one. Quiz Joe, pasok.
Ano daw challenges daw te?
Tinagalog mo.
Mm.
Feeling mo hindi ko naintindihan.
Mm.
Well, una sa lahat, for example, kasi, di ba, we both work. You work full-time, I work part-time. So, salitan kasi tayo, I find it challenging kasi every time na sasabi ko sa'yo matulog ka, kasi ako papasok, matulog ka ng gabi or madaling araw para kasi syempre, papasok ng morning. Para ikaw magbabantay sa bata. Pero of course, I do understand na yun lang naman din yung time mo na pwede kang maglaro. Which is madaling araw. And kasi mas, ako kasi I need like solid sleep. Pero syempre, simula na nagkaanak tayo, hindi na nangyari yun. So syempre, isipin ko, gusto ko may tulog ka. Kasi mahirap na, mamaya nagbabantay ka, makatulugan mo yung bata. So, yun lang naman. Pero so far, I don't know. Kung wala ako, kung may nangyayari bang disgrasya.
So for the record, pag tulog kami, tumatakas ako. Tumatakas ako sa kama. Meaning kapag tulog kaming tatlo, talagang dahan-dahan talaga ako nag-i-slide na paalis ng kama just to go to my man cave para maglaro, syempre. So challenge number 1 for us would be, sleep.
I think sa akin lang yun. Not for everyone.
Inaantok din ako. Pero syempre kapag talagang gusto ko maglaro, I mean, talagang pipilitin ko talaga maglaro, and then hopefully sometime within the day dun lang ako makakatulog.
Oh, and I see.
Translation. Basically, Joe and the Mrs.'s challenge is sleep. Because of the fact that the Mrs. insists that Joe gets a full night's sleep, but there are times when he actually does really want to play, and he has to balance that. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't also even help that everybody wants to actually have that one specific time back in the days when we were all kids, diba? Now we wanted to actually play when everybody's asleep because that's our complete me time when we were children, right? So I can't blame Quiz Joe still having that kind of old habit because most of us probably do have that as well. Pero tawag dito, let's start with Quiz Ninong Mon. Quiz Ninong Mon, what do you guys have like pagdating sa challenges dito? Like as the first question stands.
Ikaw, muna. Ang challenges mo.
Depends on the game. Actually, for me, it depends on the game. Like, okay lang if it's a game that you can pause. Kasi the issue is regarding when I ask him to do something, like for me or whatever. So if it's something like Mobile Legends, na you cannot pause it, parang that's really annoying. Kasi when I ask you to do something, I want you to do it right now. Kasi if you wanna do it, in 10 seconds, I'm gonna do it myself. Pero don't talk to me. Yun. But if the game is
Don't
something
look at
like, pero if it's a game like, I don't know, God of War or Resident Evil that he can pause, so that's perfectly fine. No challenge there. So,
Minsan di ako nagpo-post, di ba? Nag-speedrun ako.
ayun, isa pa yun. If he's doing a speed run, then that's also annoying. So,
Pero pag RPG like, natulog ako kasi. Ano problema?
yeah, so dun lang. When I ask him to do something for me, and he can't pause the game. That's the challenge. Otherwise, no problem.
Sa akin, Animal Crossing. Saka,
Ano challenge to?
hindi ka makausap pag Animal Crossing yung nilalaro mo. Like terraforming, something like that. Diba? Sobra kasi siyang, sobra siyang meticulosa regarding how he builds his town. She builds his town, yung island niya, tapos kailangan precise. So, like she can take up so much time. Like, parang minsan half day siya, nakatunganga sa Switch, tapos, alam mo yun, nagte-terraforming lang talaga. So, yun lang naman. Pero, in a way, wala naman na problema sa kanya sa in-game kasi hindi siya ganun babad. Pero pag gusto niya nagbababad siya. Yun lang, hindi talaga siya makausap.
I see.
But Kuya Mon, is there any time na similar, like, may pinapagawa si Ate Mara? What if it's in vice versa? Did it happen? Like, you want to ask her something to do?
Meron ba?
Ala.
Meron. Pag pinapagawa ko ng sticker sa'yo, sabi mo, mamaya na. Kasi nag-aano pa ako. Alam mo yun? Pero,
Hindi siya urgent.
Hindi siya
So it's
urgent.
not
Pero
urgent.
yun nga, pag sinabi ko kasi, yun lang.
Oh my God.
Hindi ako
Alright.
pwedeng mag-ano.
Hindi pwede. Mahirap sumagot ngayon, guys. No? I can feel the energy from everyone here right now that they want to say something, but they a little more careful than usual. So,
Siyempre, playing safe muna tayo. Like, the answers are being safe lang muna. Mahirap
yeah.
na.
So,
Be true to yourself.
Warm up pa lang,
Yeah.
warm up.
So, tawag dito. Let's try to actually move kaya naman dito. I'm going to actually save you for last muna dito, Kois, Axine and Joel. I want to actually hear Kois Mar.
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, so Kois Mar.
Do you want to hear me or do you want to hear her?
Well, both of you guys, syempre, pero I'll start with Ate. Ate Ten, do you found any challenges ba? Knowing na,
Mhm. So as everybody know, he's the only one who's the gamer. I don't really have any ideas or not so much interested on those things. So the main thing that I think is the challenge being with a gamer like him is when he's into those games and then he will be staying so late at night, and then of course the following day it will be lack of sleep like a zombie, and the next day he will be complaining of headache. Oh, I'm feeling weak, I feel so tired. So what can you do the next day? Nothing. So nothing meaning like he will just be sleeping during the day. So what if there are things that I wanted him to do? Like what are there if there are errands that I want him to do? So who will I let those errands be assigned to? Me. So that's the thing. So that's kind of just like the challenge. Like if there are things like that, although it's not happening all the time, but those are the things that is the main challenge that I see. If he is so hooked into any game that he's on, like the night before or even the day before, something like that.
Just to give you an idea about me and Penny, we're totally opposite poles. She's not very inclined in on gaming or even well collecting of course, but not those collectible toys or collectible games stuff like that. But the good thing about I think it's not going to be a challenge. But the good thing about us, even though we're opposite poles, we appreciate each other's uh, stuff. Uh, so whenever she watches, for example, K drama, right? I actually don't like it. I don't like reading a lot. But I, I I I still watch it, and I don't complain about that. And if he, for example, we go to a movie, and then Transformers, that is how she knew about Transformers. So he watches with me without any question, stuff like that. Or whenever I buy a new Megatron robot, he doesn't say it.
I like how it transforms though. I like those things. Like when it starts transforming, when he puts it on the dining table. Okay, occupy the table. Let me see how it works.
And the
But
secret
Ate
is
Penny, how
you.
about the price? How
Uh,
much
Oh,
is
here
that?
we go.
No, no question, because it's
Damon,
all about.
that is taboo topic for today. Okay.
We're not crossing that path
I'm
tonight,
telling
guys.
you, it's not about the price. It's about reconditioning
Yes.
before you get it. Reconditioning the
Why,
person.
why is it that like I could
Marketing.
actually picture Ati Ted, like, Kuya Job is just like transforming the robot and everything. She's just like, beautiful. It's really great. Now move that away.
no.
It's dinner time.
I will give you an
She's just like,
example.
yeah, whang.
I will give you an example. We've watched Transformers,
Yeah.
the very first, the movie, right? Even though it's bad, the other things are bad, but we
Yeah.
still watch it. And then when the time comes that Robosen had the Optimus Prime transforming, I was telling her, look at this. This is awesome. It's transforming by itself. It's all about marketing, reconditioning. And then when it's time to buy it, he said, okay.
No
So you're trying
comment.
to pitch it secretly by letting the movie play. It's like, hey, look at this. This is amazing, man. This is so good. By the way, I just saw this online. Do you know maybe?
I already took notes from Ate. I'm sorry.
Shin is now learning
Um,
some techniques. There you go.
Damn it. I was actually hoping to write notes as well. Um, now, actually, like tawag dito, since basically in this case, it's just like Ate Ten, who's not the gamer here, and she's a very good case here because it's a complete opposite roles. Whereas like, I want to now see on Ate Terra here. Ate Terra, um, with the question, what are the challenges you have to deal with Christina Joel? And knowing it's Christina Joel, I want to hear this. Go.
Um, well, for me, actually, I think I'm right now more of the gamer than he
Yeah,
is.
that's
Oh
exactly
no.
the format.
Oh no.
What the situation is that I'm the normie and Tere is the gamer. We're talking like she is the
What?
one that we're going to be talking about. My challenge is the fact that there are times when I wake up in the morning and I come down and I hear her playing already, like Stardew Valley, The Sims. We're talking like
Honkai Star Rail,
Honkai Star Rail,
Genshin
Genshin Impact.
Impact.
You know,
Whoa.
there's this whole slew of games that I wake up in the morning to, and I hear she's already there on the console playing. And it's not so much a challenge as it is, an observation. Like, all right, so she's really into this already, and that's fine. I completely appreciate that because of the fact that the Mrs. is a huge, huge gamer, and I've known that ever since the beginning. Ever since she told me that she was playing Civilization Gold, Civnet, right? And it was, that was I knew that any girl, any woman who can get into Civilization is the type of girl for me. She's into that. So the challenge is, when am I gonna get time to get to play on the big screen? Because she's the one taking it all up. So yeah, it's
Yeah, and that's my challenge too. When
mm.
he's on it, I'm like, I can't wait to go back.
And also
I
another challenge is when she's building her Sims world. We're talking like she starts off with this tiny little hovel of a house, and she grows it into this gigantic mansion with multiple levels down to the basement, which there's an entire city there.
I have two basements.
Yeah, I know, two basements. There you go. And she's made it so that her Sims are the richest Sims in that world. We're talking like, even if they spend money there, the next day it replenishes to the maximum capacity. So she's that kind of player. She can concentrate on it, and she really builds it all up to max level. And she 100% Kingdom Hearts. So my challenge is getting my gaming time while she's playing too. But it's something that I appreciate in her, and it makes for more stories to share. Mhm.
Yeah, my challenge is that with the gaming both he and I do, we basically run out of time for like actually going out and spending family time. I think our last time going out was actually last weekend where we actually went to the arcade.
Mhm. Yeah,
Oh,
we went to arcade, we played. We celebrated Father's Day last weekend, and that was her way of celebrating with me. It was a grand time. I enjoyed it, but yeah, and I guess I know that she'd rather visit more historical places like Philadelphia, or other states here, and eventually we'll get to that, sweetie. I'm pretty sure. But right now, gaming takes up a lot of our time, so that's our answer. Go back to you, Shane.
All right. Thank you, Christine and Joe. Before I jump into Viraj, I'm going to ask one specific person here.
Mm,
what?
So, what are the challenges that
yeah.
you have to deal with?
I'm sorry to say this, but actually it's the same as Ate Mara. That
Mm,
whenever I want you to do some errands and you're really focused on Street Fighter, and I know like, hey,
It's online. Of course, I have to be on focus.
mm.
so that's the challenge. And but there are times that he will pause the game, and sometimes he will just leave the game. And I was like, wait, what am I going to press here? I don't know because I jumped into it, and he was
Yeah.
like, do whatever. Just
Yeah, just
I'm
do
just
whatever. Just
going to
press
do
the
it.
push button
Yeah.
repeatedly. Make the person think that I'm a bot or something. Just
Yeah.
really.
So at the same time, it's not just a challenge, but also an experience because I am not really into fighting games. So he wants me to experience it. So it's a challenge and at the same time experience for me exploring fighting games.
Okay, well, for me now, it's my turn.
Okay.
Um, my challenges when it comes to this woman here is that when it comes to her mobile gaming, it's like the moment she touches one of these, she's a complete different person. Um, Completely to the point that like I can relate to everybody here that like when you hear that specific sound of that specific video game, you know that like she's been playing for that long. It's like I had that same indicator. In fact, she loves this one game called Tanks a Lot, which is like this game of tanks, and it's like a ranking game where you play with other people as well, and you can tell that she's playing it based on the countdown that the game is about to finish. Because every single time, it never ceases to fail. Even if I'm wearing a headset, I will hear tick, 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 tick. I was like, okay, she's playing tank right now. And then as it continues, I'll peek through my curtain here just to see how she's doing, if she's doing well in the game, or if she needs any help. There's two modes actually. There's this mode which is like I am actually fine, and there's this mode where I don't want to talk to anyone, and then this mode where it's like I am completely losing in this ranking. Please do not talk to me. So that's what I actually have to deal with when it comes to her mobile gaming. And as far as like household chores is concerned, yes, it is a bit of a challenge, I guess, that she
Yeah.
has to wait for me to finish a match because it's online. Why am I gonna like, hey, I get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but mine is online too, especially like the CODM that I'm
You
playing.
can carry this with you while you're doing it.
Yeah, but I already done my chore, just like Ate Mara. It's not
Oh,
urgent.
good for you. But anyways, Viraj, have any thoughts?
Oh, you have no idea.
Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Where do I begin to pick this apart? No, I'm not here to pick this apart. I think the most interesting one, well, I say most interesting, you're all very interesting in your dynamics and the things. So, starting with Sedan, he talked about his wife and how, well, Lindsay said that it's the repetitive music in his arcade video games. And I totally understand that. My sister in law had a pop at me saying, put the volume down, it's too loud when I was playing at my parents' house. And I just said, listen, I don't have to do anything you'll say. I'm not married to you, you married him. Leave the room. And then the room. So that's what she had to do. So that's it. So I can understand. I can, unless you're not playing the video game. If you're playing repetitive music, and the video game has that kind of music that you're not into, you can grate on a partner. So I can totally understand what Lindsay meant by that. So yeah, that I've experienced that, but from somebody else's wife. But because I wasn't married to that person, I could just tell them to leave the room, and they did. And that's such a luxury I had. Yeah, I felt made me feel so good at being able to get that off my chest. So there's that, and then there's also what I found really interesting is when Sir Joe and his wife were talking, and again, fatigue, isn't it? That you're all working people, right? And we all know Sir Joe, he works in healthcare, and healthcare is a very demanding job, and you have to be awake. And I put credit to his wife, because you need enough sleep. If you're dealing with people's lives, because, as we know, I don't want to put anyone's business out there, but Sir Joe works in healthcare. He's dealing with people who have whatever conditions. He should be awake and on the ball. So credit to his wife. You have to stay awake doing your job, and you can't. You have to discipline yourself, especially if you're doing shift work and working. You have to, there has to be a time where you have to stop playing the video game, and you have to get enough sleep. And I think that's something that we all have to be mature enough about. We have our jobs, we have our responsibilities. We have to get enough sleep. Even me, I mean, I'm single, but I drive trains for a living. If I fall asleep driving a train, somebody's going to get hurt real bad. Okay.
Oh my goodness, how very Russell Peters. Okay, fine.
Wow, we're going there.
But it's one of those things. So I would urge all of you. It's a health thing, and we're not yet. I think I don't know who said it here. We talked about how when we were younger, we had all that time playing all the video games. We have to be mature enough to say we have financial responsibilities. We have responsibility to each other. If we have children, we have responsibility for the children. The video game has to stop at some point, which leads me to another point. And this is something that I find really particular. I think Chin and Momo and Sir Raymond are guilty of this, which is mobile gaming, online gaming. There is no pause button. The game doesn't. You can't stop the game. That's online gaming is the next frontier of gaming, which is so addictive, so addictive. The game never ends. That's the most scariest part about gaming. But forget retro gaming, but gaming. When you're playing online gaming, there is no pause button. So you have to have a communication. You need to talk to your partner and say, listen, I'm going to have a session of a game for this long, and then I'll be free. I think that's the way we move forward for that, because the problem with online gaming is there is no pause button, and then one partner will get frustrated with another. When you're going to finish? When you're going to finish?
Right.
I mean, I personally don't online game myself, and I'm single. I don't have to worry about a partner, because I still, I know you guys share your chores out, but nobody's going to clean my toilet. I have to clean it. Yeah, I have to do this. Yeah, I have to do it. If I don't, it gets in a sorry state. Like today, my grass was really quite high, and I realized I better cut it before it rains. I want to cut my grass. So I had to discipline myself. But there are a lot of single guys out there that are absolute slobs and that are absolutely addicted to gaming, and they don't have their life in order. I say to you, single guys, fix up, because you've got to get enough sleep. You have to get your chores done. You have so many summers, so much other time to game. But yeah, get your sleep. Look after yourself. That's what I have to say. So that's what I've picked up here. And with online gaming, know your limits. And we're living in a day in a day and age now where video games can be saved at any point if you're not online gaming. But don't wind your partners up, guys or girls. It goes both ways. Have that conversation. Say, look, I want to play this game. This is what I'm having. I think the biggest issue here is always communication, and not communicating your desire to your partner, saying, look, I want to do this, I want to do that, because you're scared that they'll say, no, you can't do that. And I would say, look, try and just give yourself some space. And I think a point was raised here earlier as well. I think it was with Sir Joe, and he mentioned how, I think his wife mentioned how you could game into the night as a kid. And I remember as a boy, and this is a true story, and this is how it messed up my brain. Back in the late 1990s, my father had bought me a television. It was a 14-inch TV. And, I always say, if you've got a TV in your bedroom and you're a boy, it's a luxury. And I would put the TV, and this is how I'd get away with gaming into the night, and this is how damaging it was for my mind when I did it. I would put the duvet cover over the bed, and I put the TV under the bed, and then I'd play video games under the duvet so the light wouldn't shine under the door, so my parents wouldn't know I'm gaming. And then the headphones would be linked to the TV, so no sound would come there. So my headphones were in, playing a video game, and I'd be so tired. I'd be so tired for school the next day, and that can really affect you. And I used to suffer from migraines, and that's what was doing it. And obviously, in life we all do silly things. We all learn from those things. that's something that I've learned from as an infant, not to do this because I suffered migraines for years and it took me a while to heal from that. So, you know, just know your limits and communicate as a couple, guys, and that's basically it. That's what I
For those people who just arrived in this session,
mm.
welcome to the couple sessions with Guru Viraj. Namaste,
I'm not.
namaste, everyone.
I didn't actually have the qualifications. I could have. I did the module like psychology and psychiatry.
We're having was it a couple counseling
Couple
courtesy
count.
of the Guru right here right
But
now.
we must limit how we game. We must communicate with our partners saying, look, I really love this game. I want to play for this long. I'll do it. That goes for children too, as well. We should all communicate saying, okay, this is how long we should game. And Nintendo have done an incredible job on the Nintendo Switch is limiting. You can actually put parental controls on your Nintendo Switch for your children for how long they can game on now. A lot of parents don't know that, but it's a feature the Switch has. You put an app on your phone and control it, and Nintendo themselves have created it. But yes, controlling how long we game, getting our chores done, communicating with our partners, and living a good life. Because let's be honest here, guys, there's more to life than playing video games. Great hobby, but there is a life out there, people. And if a single guy who has all the time in the world to game, I can tell you that there's a lot more to it than that. But anyway, I think that is the end of that first chapter about the rifles of.
And before we could even jump in, I would love to actually say hi to Quiz JDM. I believe that he brought along his beloved significant other on the chat as well. Ate Enma Ay. Oh, hoy, nandito si Zap G Snesan. Konbanwa or konbanwa. Teka, so let me just read Kuya JDM's note here. He says, when my partner played Sims 3 in 2012, she didn't reply to my text for almost a day. I got no problem. When I play for 2 hours and reply to her message, she's about to maul me. So I think that's Kuya JDM. I feel you in that. But remember, here's the thing. One thing that I've learned in this situation is that it doesn't matter how long or how different is the the comparison of the time that you're playing. It's about the situation that you're dealing with. It's like it's like even if I try to remind you that 3 years ago you basically played what's the name of that one game that you had, God Eater?
Yeah, God's Eater.
Yeah, so let's say you played God Eater for 3 hours, you didn't message me, it's fine. But when I play Street Fighter for 2 hours, you got mad at me. It's mainly because the situation here is that but now that we're together, what was the reasoning that you always have about that whenever we argue?
You didn't tell me what you're doing.
Okay, so that's
Like totally silence before I play the God's Eater game. I will tell him, "Hey, hon, I'm gonna be playing this game for this hour, blah blah blah, and I need to, divert my mind. So I have to play for this hour. There's a specific schedule for that, and then here comes the situation that I'm trying to, have baby time with him, and then he's not replying. I was like thinking that he's working. Okay, maybe he's working. He wants to be on hermit mode, like he wants to focus on his work. So I'm fine with that. And then here comes the chat. Hi, hon. I just played my Street Fighter 3. Oh my god, it's amazing. Blah blah blah. I was like, you didn't tell me you're not working.
Anyways, let's try to jump in on the second question. Oh, yes, please,
So,
Joe.
I'm just gonna piggyback really quick on what Viraj was saying about the online gaming, right? Just I was thinking about it. Back in early 2000, online gaming, it was the worst for me because I've been gaming for if I can game for 24, 48 hours, I would do that before. World of Warcraft, RF Online, Ragnarok Online.
Ooh.
So I was
Yes.
hooked.
Those games take over your life. Those games take over your life. Those games people live their lives in those video games. They're the most toxic video games you could get into.
Right, exactly.
They're so addictive.
So, I think my wife didn't mention that challenge before. At the same time that I was addicted with World of Warcraft.
Wow.
I have a computer cafe, so it's a win-win situation. I was on my computer cafe, serving people while I play. So most likely she did not notice it.
I
Yes.
thought he was making money, but he was
Oh,
not.
very much.
Not much.
It's on that subject very quickly. It's
Fair enough.
because what we were
Because I
talking
was also busy during that time. I was also working outside and he stays
Yeah.
there. So I thought,
Yeah.
oh, he's busy in his computer shop. But
Yeah.
he was busy with other things personally on his own game.
Yeah. Now I'm
Mm.
thinking about it. I see myself. I think the best. I could have just pulled my son here because my son is actually me 25 years ago.
Good lord, good lord. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So seeing it now, I think the challenging is actually I'm complaining on my own self
Yeah.
as a gamer.
Oh, well, it's good that you're
Nice.
out of that because that's a phase you've gone through. You've grown from that. Your wife has probably pulled you out of that addiction
Right.
because and I've been there. We've all played games for long periods of time when we were much younger in the past. But like I said earlier, I go back to my earlier point. Say if there's a game you want to play, nothing addictive like that. But we're living in an era now where we are so sport for choice with the amount of video games we can play. Not just going ahead, but behind us, there's so many great video games that we can just get our hands on with very little cost, or no cost at all, if you're enterprising enough. But you can play them, and there's just so much choice. But it's always good to just say, look, Mrs. or Mr., I just want to play this game. I want to give this a go. We'll do this later at this time. Have that conversation. I think that would solve so many issues. That would solve so many issues if you just clear and have that conversation. Obviously, I think you've all learned from this. It's pointless me telling you this now. There's also the listeners at home. But this is just me summarizing it. Just have that conversation. I love this game. And obviously, I think there's another thing that I wanted to say, but I see that there's a child here, so I can't say all those things I want to say. So I'm going to stay quiet now because I was going to really drill into Sir Joe and why he really is tired. But let's move on to the next point.
Yes. Right. And apparently, because of that one quick reading of JDM's message, his hair is now currently being pulled, considering he's one of the people who has the most longest hair in ROI. I feel bad for you. Han, could you do the honor and ask for the second question here?
Okay, so the second question is, have you tried to get into the hobby yourself? If so, is it the same as your partner, or do you guys clash in regards to game preference?
Okay, yeah. This is gonna get interesting. So let's start with Sir Dan. Dan, take it away.
We've attended a few of the gaming events, which I do enjoy. But yes, we do have very different gaming styles. I'm not really much of a gamer, and the games that I prefer to play are the Mario.
She likes Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
So simple stuff, isn't it?
Ones where you have to use your brain, because I also I also enjoy the
Yeah, another one that we had actually had a really good time on was Zero Time Dilemma, which is obviously a visual novel with a lot of puzzle elements. So that was quite good because we both.
Yeah, I really enjoy those.
Yeah, we both helped each other and had a bit of banter when one of us was saying something stupid or one of us were like outsmarting the other. That was a good laugh, wasn't it? That book. So,
no, I enjoy those ones.
Good fun.
Yeah.
Good fun.
All right, nice. Okay. Judging from the way that she was like saying it, I already started to feel like I got somewhat kind of relate in a way. But before we could even go there, let's try to ask Quiz Joe. Quiz Joe, ate, take it away.
So, ikaw ba mismo gusto mo ring gusto mo maging gamer din, or gusto mo rin ba yung gaming na hobby?
Well, alam mo na ang kaya ko lang laruin ay Mappy.
Mappy.
At saka Super Mario 3. Na syempre pa, tatlong stage lang ako. Anyway, well, kasi yung kapatid ko, di ba, gamer. So, I do enjoy watching him play. Pero kasi, nahihilo kasi ako. Alam mo yun, pagka ikaw na yung maglalaro. Gusto ko, kasi ang memorable para sa akin yung gusto ko pinapanood ko niya laro ni Byron. Silent Hill, tsaka Clock Tower. Tsaka yung Resident Evil, hindi ko masyadong type yan. Ginawa ko na magbarilan.
So in your experience, gusto mo yung ikaw lang yung
Nanonood.
nanonood ka lang,
oo,
not necessarily ikaw yung
Oo,
naglalaro.
kasi nga, di ba nahihilo kasi ako.
Right.
Sa ano.
There are people like that actually.
So I enjoy watching. Pero not really yung ako mag-play. Pero gusto ko di ba dati yung VR. Pero ano na-try ko, nahilo ko. Kaya wag na lang.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Mappy.
I wonder what Ate will be the reaction while playing Silent Hill and Resident Evil. Like she's shouting maybe.
I already got your reaction when it comes to you watching me play Metal Gear Solid. Let's start with Quiz Ninumon. Quiz Ninumon. Ate Mara. Paano ba introduce sa'yo ni Quiz Ninumon yung mga favorite niya? How does it receive sa'yo?
Well, first of all, magkaiba kami. We have different tastes in games. And actually, it shows you how little he knows about my gaming life. Kasi I've been playing like maybe even way before I met him. Talaga like ran online. I'm not sure if you're familiar, pero it was an online game a long, long time ago.
Yeah, me too.
You level up in parties, yung mga ganun.
Yeah.
Tapos, pero now I'm more of a cozy gamer. So obviously, we don't have the same taste in games. He's more into like horror survival games, Resident Evil, etc. Matawag yung Lala Move. Wait, excuse me. Ikaw muna magsagot. I'll continue my answer after I answer the Lala Move. Dadating yung Dance Dance Revolution yung gamepad.
Oh, congratulations!
Real-time delivery of a video game order. Okay. Raymond, you answer the question. Go ahead.
Mahirap kasi ang hobbies niya is cutie eh. Hindi ako ganun eh. Pero the thing is, nag-jive kami which regards in handheld collecting. Like he loves collecting handheld consoles from Nintendo DS, DS Lite, the Switch, and Game Boy. Recently, bumili kami ng Game Boy Color na Pikachu Edition. Ayun. So, doon kami nag-jive regarding sa hobbying. So, ano pa? Sige, tuloy mo.
Ha?
Patay tayo.
Okay. So, yun. Ano ba? What was that? No, wala ako. Tuloy mo lang.
Kasi,
Now, the difference in genre. The difference in gaming genre.
Yeah, difference in gaming. So, yeah, we clash. Pero the funny thing is, minamaliit niya sometimes yung mga games that I like. Ba't ka lumalay? I'm not gonna hit you. Not yet.
Ramdam kita dyan.
Obviously, if I try to play his games, like Resident Evil, medyo, yeah, magpapalpitate ako eh. I don't like those types of games.
It's scary.
But I saw him once playing with my Animal Crossing game. And he was just running around the island, not knowing what to do. Ang cute. Ang cute. I think he was looking for someone to kill, pero yeah, you can't do that.
hindi ko kasi maintindihan yung ng Animal Crossing nyo. Like, yung ganun lang ba? Magpo-farming ka lang ba?
Farming is just one part of it.
Ayun nga. Kaya, diba? Unlike sa mga...
So with Resident Evil, patay-patay ka lang zombies. That's it.
It has puzzles on it.
Oh, puzzle. So patay-patay ka lang zombies.
Bakit may puzzle ba sa Animal Crossing?
Can you cook?
Because Raymond is not used to farming.
Yeah,
That's
grinding
why.
and farming.
Kaya you playing
Grind-
MMORPG.
Uy, nag-MU ako. Nag-MU ako. Tito Joel knows that. So, alam ko yung term grinding. Pero, in a handheld, in a video game console, not on the internet, online, bakit ka magpo-farming?
Because it's fun.
Kakaanto kaya yun?
It's therapeutic, quiz.
Therapeutic.
Therapeutic for her. Sa akin, sorry. Ay, ayoko na.
So I'm not all about farming games.
Okay, sige, fine. Ayan, nalaman na may Dance Revolution na.
Yeah, there you go.
No shame in that. Don't be ashamed.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so tawag dito. So let's try to let's move kay Quiz Jom at saka kay Ate Ted. So, Ate Ten, sinubukan na ba ni ni Kuya na to try to introduce you into what he loves, and like did it actually get in, did you get into it? Like did you try to adapt or try to like it as well?
Uh, did did I even did you even get gaming? Have you ever watched gaming like for any types of game? She likes watching too. For example, we go to she likes going to a barcade. She likes going to barcade just to look at the place, not to game. Have you ever been gaming?
I never really got into those games. So I was really not introduced to those games even on the early age. So growing up, my hobbies are different, but I would say something in common with him regards to collecting things, but not really to. So I love collecting like kitty things when I was in high school and college. During that time, I will be all my stuff are Hello Kitties, all my stuffs are Sanrio, so all those kind. And now he's into collecting those robots and all that. I can, I mean, know the feeling, but him introducing me to the game, but the only things that I just love to play are the Blitz and Candy Crush. That's it.
You're still gaming, right?
That's it. The other games that he's into, I don't even like. I mean, like yeah, just like those games that are like always shooting or whatever. I don't like that.
You you have to excuse her from this because she's from the in the Philippines.
Mhm.
So when Mara was when Ray was saying about farming, well, I have the real experience of the real farming, but not the game farming.
So
So
I
that's
know,
it.
right?
so
Yeah,
the,
alam ko
the
po yan.
cross reference for Viraj from the word from the is from the province.
Mm. It's okay.
I
I
have
love
a ano,
taking.
I have a follow-up question to Ate Ten. Did it happen like when Kuya Jom is playing, you get excited, like, come on, run, 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 or you're gonna die, like that kind of reaction? Did you experience that?
No,
I don't
because
even
I
remember.
no, a straight no. Because
Yeah,
every time that he will be playing those kind of games, all I am like looking at is what time will this game end? Because I have a lot of things for him lined up to do.
And she has to watch some Korean.
So
So
if he's if
I'm
he's busy doing those games, I'll just like okay, maybe it will take an hour or two. I can finish 2 episodes maybe. So let me do that. That's it.
and she always asks
Mm.
me questions like this. Are you almost done? What time are you gonna be done? Stuff like that because she's gonna be watching her K drama.
Yeah, I'm the person who just want to be on a right timing on when he's doing something. I just don't want to be like just sitting and waiting. So I can also keep myself busy. So by the time he ends up, my show is also done. Then we can do something together.
So that's guys, that's the sign that she's not gonna get into gaming.
Okay,
It's
that's
not
fair.
for
That's
everyone.
fair.
Not for everyone.
That's fair.
All right, fair enough. So, tawag dito. Let's go to quiz Ninong Joel, and then like Ate Tere. So, tawag dito. Have you tried to get into what quiz Ninong Joel likes? Like, did it ever come to the point where you guys are just like
This is no
completely
question.
into it, this one specific game or fandom or genre?
Uh, well, we do have some um, genres that we click, like Civ, Civilization, um,
Yakuza.
yeah, Yakuza. I tend to watch him play that.
Mhm.
Uh, but some of the games were that we gravitate in different opposite directions normally. So like I do Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy. He's more into like the Bassmaster
Mhm.
gaming and all that stuff, or the zombie genre, which I can't handle.
Mhm.
So, but for the question regarding have I ever had a chance to like when he's about to yeah, I'm the backseat driver sometimes. I tell him, oh, you're gonna miss, you're gonna get stuck in some getting you.
And in my case, I'm saying, I know where he's
I know what I'm doing. Just
not
wait.
plotted out. I know he's coming. I'm preparing for it. So basically,
I saw the Goomba. Don't worry, it'll be there.
what I'm saying is that the missus is very different strategically in terms of thinking. She's very tactical in her movements. She wants everything plotted out step by step. And in my case, I'm very much a fly by the seat of your pants kind of guy, but I still have a tactic in doing things. So in essence, basically, it's like she's stressed because I am the do or die kind of guy. It's that one last hit point that is going to it's going to make or break the game, and I'm gonna go in and gamble everything on that one hit point. Whereas in her case, she's going to go back, chug a health potion, and go back in one more time. But in that chugging that health potion, the enemy is also recovering. So it's kind of like you just it's going to be that one point where it's going to be an infinite game. Whereas in my case, one last hit point, do or die. Let's do this. And well, that's in that case, she gets stressed. She gets very stressed because there will be times when she says, why didn't you do this? Why did you do that and everything? Why aren't you looking for this one? Go back for that coin over there.
I'm on your wife's side with this one. On the right track. I think you should listen to your wife, and when it comes to gaming, because with these sort of games you're playing, you have to be analytical. You have to think ahead.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are times when you do analytical. When I do Civilization, I'm very tactical with my games. Like I make sure that my civilization is overwhelmingly powerful before I go attack some other civilization. But there are times when I say, well, neither of us has a clear advantage. The only advantage I have is the element of surprise and movement. So I just go in and do it. So
I mean, you're more of a risk taker than I am.
that's true. I am very much a risk taker.
Fair enough.
But have you guys tried to play like a fighting game and go against each other?
Oh no, neither of us are into fighting games. Neither of us are into fighting games. If anything, we would the only times that we would intersect would probably be like Mara, the Animal Crossing side. I would go in there, but my interest lied in a different side. It would be the fishing side. I would go and look for all the fish all over the island. There you go. Genshin has
never comes to a point that it gets competitive. Like,
yeah, and then I'll do the rest for him.
Yeah,
I'll do the rest of the game.
I can see that. Yes.
You see, it's a complete opposite for me. It's like it's a complete opposite on my side. It's that I tried. Even in the beginning of the relationship, I tried to introduce Metal Gear Solid fighting games for her. But the typical answer is that like, hey, check this out. I'm gonna try to show you this game. It's wonderful, and this is what I would get.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So pretty much what happens is that I was like, okay, I can't introduce Dynasty Warriors, Metal Gear Solid, even the fighting games. I tried to get her into the Metal Gear lore, but I realized that a whole day in the dinner table is not enough to explain that game. So she just gave me this though-eyed look that like I can tell that you love this game, but I have no idea what you just. So but it's the complete opposite. Actually, recently, she's the one who's been like influencing me to love mobile gaming because I was the first one who was like, the complete naysayer when it comes to mobile gaming. I keep on saying it's just a simple game. It doesn't have the same mechanics as consoles and PC games. It doesn't have the same challenge. It's just like, a quick one, like an impulse type of game that you don't really need to spend or invest a lot of time. And then apparently she's showing me all these other games. Apparently, she's into this one game called Sky right now. Children of the Sky, was it?
Yes.
And
Sky.
it's actually well made. I was even surprised this is a mobile game. And she's also trying to show me all these simple games that I thought was just like, no, it's just a brain rot kind of game, and that's it. There's like this one called Haunted Dorm that you basically run away and hide. And it led to the point that I actually got into it, that I became so competitive that when she wakes up, I have to gloat in front of her and be like, "Hey, I'm on level 80 right now. Which level are you again? 50? Gotta catch up."
Yeah, he's like that. He's boastful.
Yeah, it's like, you people tell me this is challenging. Oh, did you use all of the assist on that game? Oh, you have to play a lot of ads to get that. I already reached level 89 and haven't even touched any of those ads. I only play those ads whenever I go for a smoke break, but in the middle of the game,
That's how
that, that,
boastful he is.
that's how I actually provoke her. And then, like, she basically catch on and then try to do the same thing. But um, it's one thing that I thought it would be a challenge is that to actually have her to get into what I want. But little did I know that she's going to end up doing the same thing to me, and then it completely backfired. And I'm the one who's now like, okay, now I get how mobile gaming is. But Sir Viraj, any thoughts?
Yeah. There's plenty of insight I could give you with this, and obviously I think there's a dynamic here where you have obviously with John Mentem, he's got a wife who's not into gaming, and that's totally understandable. It's just one of those things, and that's something that has to be balanced in its own respect. But then there are those of you who are married to people who like the game, and there are going to be differences. It's just the way it is. Even as a reseller, I have a female audience that likes certain types of video games, and I have a male audience. And you saying, "Oh, I couldn't get her into this game," well, it's like asking a girl to give up a Barbie to go and play with Transformers, or whatever. I mean, unless she likes Transformers, it's tough because women are predisposed to liking certain types of games. Simulation games typically and visual novels and games that require them to analyze things. They like that, or puzzlers. They typically go for those sorts of cutesy games and things like that. I'm generalizing here because there are women who do like Resident Evil. There are women out there who do like Metal Gear Solid. I'd be very careful not to say, "Oh, these games are for women and these games for men." Video games for everyone, but women are predisposed to liking certain types of video games, and it's hard to get them to like certain types of video games, which are more skill based, shall we say, more action based. That's more of a male sort of thing. Although there are women that like that. I mean, it's just the way things are going to be, and some things will just never change. There are some things that universally women will always gravitate to, and nothing's going to change there. And we're living in an age now where we're so, like I said before, sport for choice with so many video games, and mobile gaming. That's, if I was a developer and I was designing a video game, I'm not going to make it for PlayStation or Xbox. I'm making it mobile because that's where the money's at. Mobile gaming has exploded. It's
Right.
Because everybody has a mobile phone. Everyone has that at least. Even in India, where my family are from, who can't afford video games, what have they all got? A mobile phone. Yeah, I was listening to my grandmother's side of the family, and my aunt was complaining about her husband playing PUBG all the time. It's PUBG.
Well, I think Viraj saw that report where mobile gaming actually makes much more money than PC gaming and console gaming combined.
Yeah.
Mobile gaming makes much more money.
That's correct.
And plus, gaming just became for everybody. Like my wife, never played a game, but she played Candy Crush, right?
But
Farmville, Candy Crush, things like that. Yeah.
And these are so easy to get into. And when you're on the go, or when you're procrastinating, waiting for someone to finish doing something or whatever, you're waiting in a rating room, or if you're traveling, commuting, that's the new handheld console. This is it, not Nintendo Switch. This is your phone. Because it's there. You play it and get going. And it's one of those things. So yeah, and I would say a lot more women. There probably are more mobile gaming women than there are men. Men are more into the high definition graphics. They want to sit on a big screen and play it that way. So that's one thing I've realized, and something I've noticed, which is why whenever I do resell at video gaming markets, yes, predominantly my customers will be men. I don't get as many women, and that's just the way things will always be. Now, the other point I find really interesting is there are, some people say, "Oh, if I had a female gamer wife or girlfriend, that would be so cool." But then the flip side of that coin is they're going to like the games that they're going to like, and they'll never gravitate to what you're going to like. They'll think, "What is this? I haven't got the time for this nonsense. It's not my cup of tea." And it's sometimes bridging that gap can be really difficult. Playing a two-player cooperative game or a versus game can be one of those things that not one partner may want, but the other may not want, and that's just understandable because people just want to do their own thing. That's where we're at right now, which is sad, but it's always nice to try and find some common ground. You know, there are some great games in the 16-bit era that you could play. You know, a fun co-op game, and it's always fun to just talk with someone and play. I mean, for me, gaming is at its best when you're playing. Like I played a 4-player over the Christmas period. I played 4-player couch co-op Streets of Rage 4 with 3 of my dearest friends, and it was just so much fun. And that's a beat 'em up game where it doesn't require much thought. You just beat everyone up and you take out the bad guys who are running the city. That's so much fun. Playing Streets of Rage 4 is a beat 'em up. And there's even like older cooperative games, like if you want to go back to say playing Sega Mega Drive, even little cutesy Disney games. If your partner isn't that skilled, is fun. You know, who doesn't love Disney? And I know it's for kids, but women love Disney. Who doesn't want to play as Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck? You know, and play an adventure called World of Illusion on Sega Mega Drive. There are so many older games out there designed for cooperative gameplay, which can be quite easy to get into. And you can have a 2-hour session playing these great video games, because that's how long the games are. They're only an hour and 2 hours, and you can have so much fun. So there's a whole world of video games out there that I'm sure your partner and yourself can find together, and you can reach common ground. It's a wonderful bonding exercise. I mean, I know you're married at the hip. You could do something, create some fun memories playing a video game that you did together. You went on that adventure. And I mean, I've done this with past partners that I've been with, and you know, they've always been like, "Oh, this was so much fun, Viraj. Do you remember when we did this together?" And it's a wonderful memory we fall back on, even though things never worked out with me and them. But it was wonderful when you finish that game, you reach a goal, you've done it together. It's just such a good feeling, you know. So there are games out there. You just have to look for them. But in terms of like, yes, you are creatures of habit. You're going to stick to what you like and what you prefer. That's the way it's going to be. That's the status quo. But it's always good to try new things. That's what I will say. And those are my thoughts on that. Back
That's
to
a
you.
good. Yeah, that's a good one. That you need to find a common ground to enjoy playing together. It's a good idea.
Yeah, well, when it comes to mobile gaming, it does have that option, though. I would say that, you know, it's a long way to go when it comes to co-op, though, because I've realized that, you know, the infrastructure in most of these mobile games, when it comes to doing co-op, it's not as good as it is like similar to PC or console gaming. While we do have like a couple down here in the chat room that's probably starting a bit of an argument with each other, and apparently somebody forgot to cook breakfast. I hope everything's fine with you guys, Chris GM. Um, let's try to actually jump in on to the next question here. 'Cause,
Yes.
most of this question, all these questions that we all laid out, they're all pretty much kind of similar in a way, but varied in certain ways. Um, the We're already on question number 3. So it's the third question is that, did it ever bother you in the beginning? Was it something you're already familiar with, or was it a rabbit hole that overwhelmed you initially? You know, like, you know, does it ever come to the point where it frustrates you that these guys are into this kind of gaming, and then no matter how much you try to get into it, or if you do get into it, was it kind of like a new experience for you, and did you enjoy it? So let's start with Sir Dan and his good old wifey. Come in.
I was certainly aware of your hobby. It's probably a little bit more intense than I quite realised at the start, but I'm quite easygoing. For me, though, I think because of your health issues, it's been quite a crutch that's been welcomed. It's it's a nice distraction.
Very much so. Very much so.
And it's something that we've managed to share with the Zero Dilemma game. So there's worse hobbies to have.
Correct. I've given up going to brothels, so that's done that favour.
It's always a bonus.
All right. I see. So health issues again. Seems like health is actually like one of the most dominating thing in this conversation. Now let's try to ask Quiz Jo. Quiz Jo, ate, pasok.
Basically, what it's asking aware ka ba na gamer ako dati noon pa lang?
Yes. Kasi di ba nung, ano ba yun? Pumunta ako sa inyo.
Yeah.
Ano yun? Puro may
Ano yung mga nakita mo nun? First time mo pumunta sa bahay, ano mga nakita mo?
Hindi ko, naalala ko lang yung Xbox kasi sabi mo na hindi ka bibili. Tapos sabi ko, hindi
Right.
ko pa alam yung itsura ng Xbox
Xbox
noon.
360, mind you.
Tapos pagtingin ko, sabi ko, ano tong itim na ano? Sabi ko, Xbox. Nakasulat Xbox. Tapos, and then, ano pa ba yung mga nakita ko doon sa kwarto mo nun? Hindi ko maalala eh, pero parang I
I
saw
mean,
PlayStation.
did I ever mention na gamer ako during the time na naniligaw ako sa'yo?
Wow.
I mean, did it ever came across na, gamer na gamer, hobby ko pala ang maglaro, or is it just something na nalaman mo lang nung nandun ka na sa bahay?
Ang naalala ko kasi noon,
Or was it nung pumunta ako sa inyo kasi si Byron?
oo. Nung pumunta ka sa amin. Ayun, kaya ko din nalaman kasi naglalaro ata si Byron nun, tapos eventually ikaw na yung pinalalaro niya.
Right.
Ganun.
Oh yeah, I remember something like that.
Para, doon kaya ata nalaman, I think.
Kasi no, I think nung nalaman ko, kasi I don't know.
Dude, 15 years ago, sorry.
No,
15 years ago yan, hindi ko maalala.
No, I don't, because di ko mo naman kinukuha si Byron din kasi.
Wow.
So nung pumunta ka ng bahay niyo, and then I remember seeing na yung mga consoles na nakabalanda din dun sa inyo. Kasi hindi lahat ng consoles hindi lahat ng consoles niya nakatago eh. Yung iba nasa sala niyo kasi, kaya nagulat ako. Doon lang din ako
Kasi
So doon ako, doon ako nag-open up. So doon ako nag-open up, and then doon na yata nalaman. It's either me coming to your house or you coming to my house.
All right. So now let's move on to Ate Mara and Kuya Mon. So sa inyo, paano nyo na-discover na gamer pala yung isa't isa?
Ako nung may DS Lite pala siya. Yun ang magjowa pa lang kami. And then
Malamang ang nabother dito si Mon, hindi si Ate Mara.
May DS Lite siya. So ang ginawa ko,
Niram
ko,
nilaspag.
nilaspag ko. Pero gamer pala siya. Tapos, di niya alam na, kwento mo yun. Di mo alam eh. Pero nagpabili ako sa kanya ng Xbox 360.
When we got married, alam ko, collector of toys. Pero hindi ko alam na gamer siya. Pero although, nagpabili siya ng Xbox, ano ba yun?
360.
360 daw.
Na Falcon.
Oh, so that's the reason why the Xbox 360 is so special for you, Raymond. Then,
She bought me.
So we went down the rabbit hole together.
Oh, that's so sweet.
We enabled each other.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. Like if you're going down in a rabbit hole, like you will say, "Hey, Mon, I'm here. Get out, get down. We're gonna do this together."
I'm gonna buy this for myself. Sige, you can buy a game for yourself.
Start na uli kami mag-collect ng gaming consoles.
Mamaya.
Later na lang.
Hindi ka nagpapasalamat.
Later. All right. Now, let's move on now to Kuya Jom and Ate Ten.
Okay, so you have been bothered. Did you know? But I think like Sergio, I think when I got you to my room, it's a different thing to there. Maybe a joystick or something. Or even when I went to your room, it's the same joystick that you saw, right?
Talking about. No, that bother me because when I met him, I already knew that he's into gaming because I already saw all those like PlayStation, his home. So it's already given that this guy is a gamer. So I wasn't really, like gonna be to change this, but probably I said can probably kind of let if we get more close together, and I think that's what happened. Yeah. So and I mean I don't have that inkling that I'll be able to change this guy to stop it 100%. I will support it, but and limit it. That's my thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Are
Kasi
you
ano eh, there's a balance kasi if a partner is not yet is not a gamer, he or she adjusts for her or his partner, and that's a really good thing eh, kasi you will learn from each other. Okay, now
so
let's move on naman now
uh,
kay Kuya.
I have a follow-up question for her.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Her
go.
goal yes, her goal is to limit me, right? So are you
Mm.
successful or that's
50-50. I would say 50, so 50-50 because you still stay late, but at least you sleep enough maybe now to rest.
how about in the financial aspect?
As long as you work double harder, fine. Yeah.
Ate Tenny, paano yung mga TCG cards niya?
Well, as long as
PCG.
he's what well, as long as he's, yeah,
Mga
just like
magic
what I
with the
said. Yeah,
gathering.
just like what I said, he can collect as much as he wants as long as he bring money more and more to pay for that. Yeah, it's I'm easy to talk to with regards to that as long as I will not see a long statement in the credit cards and I know that he can pay back all those things. Why not?
Mm. Yeah, that's a good thing. Now let's move on now to Kuya Joel.
Mhm. All right. So, what is you've seen the differences in well, you've known from the beginning, right? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, so we started out with, it was long distance for us, long distance relationship. So we basically communicated over the internet. So
Mhm.
it was, I knew from the start he was a gamer.
Really? Was it what? Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, no. I mean,
because
like,
it was one of the,
no, no. I mean, the start of
when,
our relationship because we were high school seatmates, right?
well, not that part of the relationship. When we reconnected and we started communicating.
Yeah, she left me behind. After during high school, she left me to go to the States. I lost touch with her for a long, long time, and then we reconnected on the internet. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so that was when we started, like, well, obviously we couldn't see each other, so we would just tell about each other through the internet, through email, whenever we had a chance to video chat. So that's how I found out he was a gamer.
Mhm.
So I knew from beginning, from that point, not from when we were in high
Oh
school.
no, 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 no! In high school, yeah, she all she knew about me was that one of my favorite songs was my favorite thing from Sound of Music.
Yes,
Yeah,
because he kept on writing it and giving me the piece of paper.
and she couldn't get a clue as to why I was giving her that song. But but then again, in my case, I knew that she was also a gamer because she has two brothers. It would come up in our conversations that
Mm.
she would watch them play. She would also play the games herself, and we kind of knew from the beginning that we were compatible in that respect. Of course, later on we found out that we had different interests in terms of gaming, as you can see in our shirts. She likes Pokemon. I like Fallout. It's kind of there's a difference in genres, but the basic concept of enjoying gaming as a hobby
Mm.
is very much not known to each other from the very beginning, and we appreciate those sides of each other. I see her passion with games like The Sims, Pokemon, Kingdom Hearts, and everything. And I appreciate that. I actually even understand a lot of it. I might not play all of it, but I do understand how how interesting it is. And she sees me game, it makes her dizzy because some of the games that I play are very fast paced, and
Mm.
she has to go lie down after watching me for a little while. But but that's she's known from the beginning. She knows how my gaming is. I know how her gaming is. I do research on what her gaming lore is as well, and I ask her about it. Like it turns out that this piece of the lore is interesting, and we talk about it. It's also,
Mm.
but it's not going into the rabbit hole or anything. She wasn't surprised, and I wasn't surprised by it. But we enjoy the journey together. that's how we are as a couple. And she might not completely understand. She might not completely understand what I'm saying. She might completely disagree with the fact that I'm hitting that zombie over the head right now while the zombie is coming up behind me. But you know, but that's how it is with us. So
Yeah, but I think you got surprised by how much of a gamer I
that's
was.
true. That's true. I thought
Mm.
she was casual, but you know, turns out she's even more of a gamer than I am. Like you know, hardcore. So yeah, she's the hardcore gamer. I'm the normie. Turns out.
Mm.
So
But I have a follow-up question to
Mm,
Ate Terry.
mm,
That time that you
mm,
discovered Kuya Joel is also a gamer,
mm.
did it made you say to yourself like, "Oh my God, he's the one"?
Well, I think not only that, but a few other things. Because like when we hit off in high school, and then it, the gaming aspect of it, the fact that when we were communicating, it was, we would always see each other eye to eye, and we understood each other through communication. So, but definitely gaming helped in terms of our relationship, because at least we had a hobby that was similar, and he could understand where I was coming from, and I could understand him. Because some of my other hobbies, he didn't have a clue, like dancing, because I was into ballroom dancing at that point. So he couldn't relate
If
to
you're ballroom dancing, what's wrong with you? Right?
that.
You like to dance the quick step. Okay,
And until now, I have no partner in ballroom. It's still my brother.
I'm just saying, you know, I've only danced well once in my life, and that was during our wedding. That's it. That was the only time that I danced well.
Alright. Okay, so now let's move on to
Uh,
Viraj. I know Viraj has.
Momo, I have a follow-up question for Tito Joel.
No, go
All
ahead.
right.
So, is did you get intimidated when you learned that he's more a hardcore gamer than you are?
Nah, it was great. The fact that I know that she's even more hardcore of a gamer than I am, it's amazing. It's the fact that I know that there will be times when she's really into it, and I understand her passion. I understand her being into something, and that makes me happy because it makes her happy. That's the
Mm.
nice thing about it. Yeah. All right. What do you think? What do you think, Viraj?
I think it's absolutely. I think it's a wonderful and wholesome thing. Personally, that you have there's two. So we've already touched on the fact that you both are into two different genres, but you both understand that you're both into gaming, and you both respect. And that's the key word here: respect. That you enjoy this and you make it work. Obviously, I see you had your daughter with you earlier, so you got that as well going on, and you have to sort of communicate between yourselves. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And again, just to elaborate with same with so Raymond, I see that they have a daughter who's wandering in the background, and they've made that work as well. Yeah, and yes, they have their preferences. Obviously, you know, his partner has likes different games to him as well, and they've managed to make it work. So that's incredibly wholesome. You know, obviously John 10 is different, and that's the most fascinating one because his wife, you know, his partner, as you can see, isn't into it, but they've managed to communicate and get things to work. And sometimes it's a case of, you know, she's never going to ever fully understand, but she understands that this is his thing, and she loves him dearly, and she wants him to be happy, but she lets him know that this is the limit, and this is it, and he sort of understands. Okay, this is where I have to work things around. So I think it's wonderful there. So it's not to say that. I mean, obviously, it's wonderful that you both in gaming, you can understand each other in that regard. But even if you do not, if you've got a partner who's not really into it, just to your extent, you could still have things working around each other, you know, and that can still work because you're having that communication. I think that's the key thing here. So Dan, it was wonderful with his recording and his wife, and it's wonderful that she's such a rock for him. And I know this anyway because I speak to Dan in private often. I don't want to, you know, divulge any of his private issues in regards to his health, but you know, she understands, and you know, she can see that gaming is a wonderful escape in regards to what he's going through right now. So that's actually a wonderful, wholesome thing as well. So you know, I just wanted to just really touch on that because really it's very similar, like listening to all of you guys on this particular question. You know, you both understand. There's an understanding there. Whether you're into gaming or you're not, you'll make allowances for each other, and you'll you'll compromise in certain areas, you'll make it fit, and that's what I get from all of you. So, it's really good, and it's good to hear this sort of stuff. So great.
I think Viraj is establishing some life goals here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
me,
just to give Viraj a background to the
for
family.
me personally, it's difficult, and for me, it's a case of like, this aspect of my gaming with women that I see now today, they do understand. The reason things don't work out with me is nothing to do with the gaming; it's to do with them because they're the problem. That's another story.
I agree.
Recently, I fell out of a relationship recently, but I could tell you when the cameras were off as to what happened. Like, that's an interesting story. But there was nothing. It was nothing in regards to my gaming habits. That's fair enough. But no, it's great that you guys can communicate, and I think that's actually, to keep it short. The reason things didn't work out with me and that girl recently is because of poor communication. I was on her part because she just didn't seem to listen or understand. And it's a lack of understanding, which is why relationships fail. And sometimes you just have to call it quits and walk away. And that's the point I'm trying to raise, which is you can communicate. Yes, love is important, but you're both faithful in terms enough to trust each other. We're just telling each other certain things. So that's all I'm trying to say, and that's what I get from all of you here. So props to all of you in the section here. Well done.
Thanks so much, Guru Viraj. Amazing advice from you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So just to give a background to the family, my son is a gamer. My daughter is also a gamer. Just what's the game again? What Animal Crossing.
Okay.
That's the only game she plays. I
Okay.
think because my wife understood because everybody here is playing games.
Okay. I was laughing at Sadan's comment here, but anyway.
Yeah, me too. I just saw that.
Yeah, my gosh.
At least you're honest for that.
All right, back to you, Shid and Momo. Go ahead.
Okay, so I guess now we're going to go with the next question. Han, do the honor.
Okay. So the next question here was there ever a time that hobby got in the way, and how did you handle it?
There's the awkward sense. Like, oh, I remember that one time that like while he's gaming, this could have been done.
Can you say this again? What's the question? If gaming got in the way, what do you mean?
If it's like, was there ever a time that the hobby got in the way? How did you handle it? Like, let's say it's like an anniversary or some sort of an event. Everybody's preparing, but somehow, some way, you got like a 1v1 match with like the most famous YouTubers. So things like that. Did it ever got to a point where the hobby itself, the video gaming life, got into the way of like the normal, husband and wife duties? And how did you handle it? Like, let's start first with Sir Dan, who just happened to have a former brothel addiction. Come in.
Not that, no.
No, no, it isn't. No,
No, because I think we're both quite easygoing. So, like the gaming events that we've been to, I make you aware of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I pop it in the diary to make sure that nothing else clashes with them because it's partnership, isn't it? So,
Correct, Alan. Correct. Lovely.
Oh, I guess so. Well, that's actually, that's good that it doesn't actually get in the way. Now let's try to ask Quiz Joe and Ate. Ate, pasok.
Got in the way. Got in the way. Like, I'm guessing. So did my gaming got in the way of life, basically? Like,
No.
naging hadlang ba siya with anything? Naging hadlang ba siya with anything?
I
mean,
think so.
So technically, we've been together like what, over 15 years now.
Yeah.
So
Seems longer.
feels longer.
Feels
But
longer.
yung mismong laro, yung paglalaro ko, like, naging hinder ba siya with anything? I mean, I can think, siguro, pag-iipon natin, sure.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. Probably.
Probably.
Kasi 'di ba before sasabi ko sa'yo, dahil nga may bata na, so kailangan natin mag-ipon, especially na ang taas ng cost of living dito sa Sydney, we have to save. Tapos kasi 'di ba pag may parcel kang dumadating, lagi sinasabi, ano yan?
Right.
Tapos, ano na naman yan? Pero anyway, parang wala na ako nakikita parcel. Unless tinatago mo pag kung kailan wala ako tsaka sila dumadating.
Eh, hindi ka ba nagtataka? Wala ka nga nakikita na dumadating.
Dumadagdag.
Parang feeling mo dumadami siya ng dumadami, right?
I think
Yun lang naman. Pero, you still go to work. Ano mo yun, you
Yeah,
still function.
we still function. I mean, despite of.
You still function. I think, not really. Yun lang siguro sa pag-iipon natin. But not in a really...
Hindi to the point na kailangan ko huminto.
No, kasi
na bumili ng
alam ko
laro.
naman na syempre, nung mga bata tayo, marami tayong gusto nun na hindi naman natin nakukuha. At ngayon, syempre, nagtatrabaho ka na. Gusto mo syempre ma-achieve yung mga frustrations mo nung bata ka.
The frustration is real.
Well, yeah, so I don't mind as long as yun nga na kapag wala ako at hindi mo nakakatulugan yung bata. So I really don't mind. So yeah.
Natutuwa ako doon sa parcel.
The we witness that happen in real time right now between Mara and
Damo ko rin yun eh. I felt that too. The whole, ano na naman yan? Ano to? Why is this? When was this? Sabay tingin sa finances. Kailan nabawas to? So, tawag dito. Let's start with ano. Tawag dito. Let's start with ano. Quiz ano. It's timing na timing yung parcel. Ate Mara? Sino? Pasok?
Ano
That
ba?
never got in the way.
Well, got in the way of paying bills. Feeling ko lang sometimes. Like for instance, talking about those packages, you'll see those packages arriving and then you'll also see a disconnection notice. So parang, diba? Although it gets paid, Pero I don't think aabot sa disconnection notice kung walang dumating na parcel, you know? So yun. That, and in terms, ano ba? Like, in terms naman of sleep, because just like, answer ba yun ni Dan with the first question? Yeah. He games really loudly. Like, really loudly. Especially God of War, my gosh. Ganun. So, sometimes I wanna sleep na. Since he works at night sometimes, so he also plays at night sometimes. So, I gifted him with different types of headsets, AirPods, whatever. He doesn't use them. So he wants to play.
Mainit sa tenga.
It gets in the way of my sleep. So, ako na lang yung nag-adjust. Bumili ako ng earplugs. Yes. To get some...
Mainit kasi sa tenga pag naka-headset.
If you're not gonna use it, I will. Parang ganun.
Ano naman, hindi naman siya naging hindrance kasi nga, nung panahon ng pandemic, by the way, kasi I'm a photographer, so yung mga gigs ko from the sa mga weddings, birthday parties, mga debut, ganyan. Wala yung pandemic, so naging source of income yung live streaming and playing games. So, ano siya, naging source of, naging income generating yung paglalaro ko ng video games. So, that's the one. So, hindi siya naging hindrance. And side of that, yun nga, yung sabi niya, naging lang yung sa pagpahid ng bills. Ayun. Pero, yun naman, gagawin ko naman ng paraan kasi nga, bawal bumuga ng apoy ang dragon. So,
I agree.
Yeah, di ba? You agree. Ayun. So, yung mga parcel ko naman, katulad nung dance pad na dadating ngayon. Alam na niya na yun. So, hindi, kaya siya yung pinalalamog ko kasi siya yung So, wala na akong tinatago kahit brief. Hindi na nga ako nagtatago ng brief. Ayun lang.
Okay. Wow. So, tawag dito. Ano yung quiz job?
Hindi, may tago. Mamaya may order ka na naman.
Sandali. Ako walang order. Siya Siya may order sa'yo. So, sabi ko, pag naiisip ko nga, ito na naman, sasabihin na naman ni Tito Jomar, ano na naman siya, may papapackage na naman siya. Dapat di malaman ni Mara to. Katulad nung isang yung nakaraang buwan, yung umuwi kayo. Sabi mo, uuwi ako. So, kung may
you.
papabili ka ba? Ayan.
Thank you, Tito Jomar.
Ayan, yung mga ganyan.
Welcome.
December.
Hindi.
Tama to, naglalaglagan na tayo pagdating sa sa mga bibili online So, since pumasok dito na si Quiz Jam, now that Quiz Jam came in. So, Ate Ten, did it ever got to the point na tawag dito, was there ever time na it got in the way yung hobby ni Kuya?
I only see some slight issues. Let's say that they were talking already about parts. So if there will be some, especially those that needs to have like some signature, someone needs to be home. So if that's the case and he's still at work, for some reason he did magic and he can come home right away and be here for that one. But then if I will have things like, let's say, okay, can you call doctor so we can have an appointment for that? No, you do that because you know how to talk to them, you know what to say. Ask that to me. But if there will be things like he can always adjust and be full as much as he can. And then if there will be also that he played a little bit last night and then he will be feeling next morning and say there will be a party or there will daughter wants to go, he cannot come because he would rather just sleep. And of course, we can sleep until he wakes up for us to go to whatever place my daughter to go. So I will be taking my daughter then instead. Not major. Yeah, it's not so major. But yeah, just those little ones are kind of like sometimes you will be fascinated how things work. Sometimes you will be frustrated why those things.
Hindi naman totoo yung nirereklamo sa akin.
You're just trying to craft things.
It's a good thing though na di ba, like it's a give and take hunt, right? It's like hindi siya yung parang tawag dito na sige, kung si Tito na lang papasensyahan ko na lang. There's like a ground, like a boundary in which like sige, tanggap kita, I like what you're doing, pero in exchange I get this. Punta tayo sa maya kasi Quiz ni Joel, Ate Tere. So does it ever occur to you guys ba? Simula si Ate.
So for us, it's similar. It's just like not really major. It's more minor issues. Kind of like when he goes to conventions and he likes going to events. So before we would go as a family, but since our daughter isn't into it, I've been forced to essentially leave him there and then go someplace with our daughter, like maybe to a park or something. Keep her preoccupied until he suddenly sends a text that I'm done. And then, I go back. So lately, since he knows that our daughter isn't into it, so he goes by himself. So in a way, that kind of it's not an issue, but it makes me feel like we're missing out on family time together too. Especially because most of the events happen on the weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a sense, I've kind of lessened that part already. I don't go to as many conventions as I used to anymore. I do understand that my daughter has very, very different interests from mine. She doesn't understand large gatherings where there's tables upon tables of different video games and toys and if people cosplaying and everything. She's not into that yet. It's not in her stage of life yet where, but then again, I would be surprised if sometime in the future she asks to go to your Comic-Con or something like that.
Probably the anime expo.
Yeah, the anime expo. So I wouldn't be surprised if she decides to want to go there. But in terms of that, yeah, I've kind of lessened that a little bit. I've tried to adjust over time to spend more time together as a family. And in terms of spending, it's not really a big problem because of the fact that she knows I'm very frugal. She knows that I don't buy games uh on release. She knows I don't buy games at $60 a pop. I wait for the game to reach $20 or below. And oftentimes I go to Walmart and find a $5 game that I've been looking around for. I just buy that. And in terms of collecting, she knows that I shop frugally. I shop for the things that I really want. And the other I don't just go willy-nilly and buy anything that I like. It's if it has to be something that I really enjoy. And space wise, it can be a little bit of an issue. I do have a little bit of trouble organizing things, and my man cave is still a disaster. But I do. There will come a time when everything is all arranged and everything is fixed up. I guess it's a case of a little bit like Mara's and Raymond's problem, where they do see things coming in, and it's not so much a cost issue as it is a space issue. Like, where are we going to put this now? How are we going to arrange that? Is it going to go into the man cave, which has a stack of games, taller than we are, things like that. So that's more of that issue. So in a sense, it's not a challenge per se, and I adjust because of the fact that I know that she likes going to family time events. So we go on cruises, we try to go on vacations whenever we can, however we can. And it's a case of adjusting and understanding where she's coming from, understanding where I'm coming from, and we meet in the middle, plain and simple. It's just that. Mhm. So there.
I mean, I could, now it's funny you mentioned the word man cave. Because,
No more.
yeah, that is like the ultimate ano dito eh. Like once that you finally had your significant other, and I don't know about sa inyo, for you guys who are still not in this stage, you might think that once that you get to that point where you're thinking about your man cave, it's not as easy as you think.
No.
It's like it started at first. It sounds like a pleasurable thing to think about when you're still single, but the moment that you finally have a significant other, for some reason, even though it's okay with them, it feels like when you mention the word man cave, it's like taboo. It's like as if you're it's
Hey,
kind of like I want to build my man cave, but it's just
if you wanted a man cave, you should have stayed single like me. All right.
that's why there's this
Agree.
but it's like
That's the key.
that's the thing that also
See how happy I am? See?
it's reminding me about that one meme. You know that one meme where like this one guy on the escalator with his wife. She's like all hugging him and whatnot, and like the guys hugging a PlayStation 5. They're all like staring at each other as the other one's crossing each other's path. And I was like, this is one of those arguments. But no, the reason why I mentioned that, yeah, the man cave thing, besides it being a little bit, it's a little bit kind of hard to mention to your partner that you want to build one because it's like your little cave where it's not just to put your collection, but it's like that part where when you say you want a me time, it's specifically that time that you just want to sit there and experiencing your old self kind of thing.
Why? You can't blame me because I like the cutscenes that you're playing. So I was, oh, that's a good cutscene.
Just not pertaining to that. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Well, did it ever got in the way with you? Like as far as like besides like in gaming, my collections, the things that I love. Does it ever bother you to the point that did I miss an anniversary? Did I? I don't think so, right?
um, it got in the way because you want to forget it. That's
Ooh,
the
that's a hot
thing.
take. What is that? What do you
For
mean by that?
example, because I'm a doll collector, of course, if there's a new doll or a vintage doll, I was like, oh, look, this doll is so vintage, blah blah blah, and he was like, that's nice, go get it. And then when I saw like, hey, there's a new model of a Gundam here, it's a master grade, perfect grade, blah blah blah, and he was like, oh, okay, like that. It's like he's ignoring it, but I know he loves collecting things like that. And I know he loves collecting comics as well. And he was ignoring it. That's the issue. Like he is putting more or investing more on my collection than him. And that's the issue between you and me, to be honest. was like, go buy it, go buy it.
Well, I mean, I kind of got thrown off. I wasn't expecting her to
Like,
actually answer that, but
what's that game that you were talking about? You want to buy it? And I said, go.
second eight.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, go, sure, buy it. And I was
Sure.
like, and I'm sure we already argued about it.
Ah,
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I'm encouraging him, but he wants to
No,
divert
Miss
right
Mama,
away.
let me say one thing. This is one of those instances where us guys, when it's like the question, "What's wrong?" and she says nothing. Well, then that word is so loaded that we don't know whether it's, you know, it really is nothing or there's something there that we have
It's
to suss
actually
out.
something. Tito Joe.
Yes, exactly. Like Jomar says,
yeah,
there's
there
actually
you go.
something. So that's the thing. And it's something that we've kind of conditioned ourselves to saying, because of the fact that we want to care about our significant others' interests. And the fact when they start caring about ours, we're not really used to it, really, honestly. It's something that it's something that we kind of have to adjust to, and I'm very happy that I've adjusted to the fact that my wife very much cares about my interests too. I'm just thinking maybe it's something that we men in general have trouble processing because of the fact that in general women, like Viraj says, have a different line of thinking and
Yes.
interests that men do. And it's kind of hard for us to understand that women actually will care about what we like. It's just a little hard for us to understand it at first. We have to get
It's
used
the
to it.
basically, Joel. That's the problem.
Mhm.
Since Basin, hello, one of our closest friends is down there on the live stream right now. It's the thing is that it's not that I hesitate per se. It's just that like that level of fairness, because you don't have the complete scale on what is fair and what isn't. We
Mhm.
rather prefer that you start with the putting as much of it on her side and then trying to weigh what you're gonna get, knowing that like what she already has in comparison to yours. That's one of the reason why it's not that I don't wanna, make myself happy and try to buy all these things. It's just that the way that I see it is that, in the most sensible kind of way, if I want to tame the dragon, I at least make sure that like she got everything before I could actually go and brandish my sword and do all these other things.
tame, tame the dragon. Tame the dragon. Is that a wise saying there?
Well, the thing is that like significant others are like this. They're like the most beautiful princesses that you would ever have. They will
Yes.
support you like a like a like a like a co-star in a film or something. But the moment that you cross them, the moment that like there's a little bit of like a conflict, just a
Right.
slight bit of it, a minimal slight bit of conflict,
Right.
it might actually snowball and you will wake the
You say a
dragon.
little bit. You say a
Everyone
little.
will
That's
have
what
a
I'm
dragon in
saying,
life.
Mamochu. That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. You have to know how to train the dragon.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Stage merch from
you
Jomar. There
gotta
you
stay quiet. All right, just stay quiet, okay?
go.
Yeah, basically that's why it's like make sure that they get what she like. She likes to collect dolls, right? She has all these favorite things that she has. So I was like, okay,
These
go ahead. I'm
my
not gonna
friends,
stop you. But it
gentlemen.
is to the point that I will get what I want.
These are
Like
these
I
are
will probably
material
not have
things.
any.
These are material things. Okay, they're not that important in the grand scheme of things. We all know this. It's a psychological thing. Whenever I do my selling at the gaming market, I put these things on my table that all these guys like you are gonna want. And I'll just tell you the story because it's the best way you'll understand.
We're the idiots just basically looking at it and looking at our significant others and like I hope she doesn't know this.
I had a gentleman, and it's always funny when I see a couple. Always funny when I see a husband and their wife together, and the husband's looking at a video game longingly, like I want to buy it. And socioeconomics and how much you earn or how wealthy people are. And I no lie, the games on my table are quite expensive. You're paying ball of money for a lot of the stuff I sell because my format is typically over £100 a game now. But there was a gentleman who looked at a game called Pokemon Crystal for the Game Boy Color, one of the rarest video games in the Pokemon library. Yeah, I think we can all agree there, those of us who know about video games. And it was £250. And the only reason it was £250 is because I had a little tear in the cartridge or whatever when he opened and looked at it. And he knew that anyway. him and his wife went around the whole gaming market looking at every single thing. And just as I'm ready to back up, his wife gave him the permission to buy this video game. And it made me realize that my mother was there watching because she'd never seen anything like this before. My father was there watching. And I said, yeah, let's do this then. So we did the transaction. And I said, goodness me, you see that, Mum? That's a wife who really loves her man. You know, he let him buy that game. And £250 is a lot of money, good people. That's a lot of money to spend on a video game. I'm sure we can all agree. But he was happy she was happy to do that for him. Okay. But it took a while. There was a compromise that was had. A conversation had to happen for that to happen. The next market I went to, I managed to reacquire that game, and I was now selling it for £300. Okay. And this was what I found really interesting. It was a younger couple in their 20s. And the boy was looking at this video game. He goes, oh, I want that video game. It's so good. And she just said, buy it. Go on, do it. You know? And she didn't say it like that. She said it in such a wonderful way. Like, come on, I want you to have it. I know it will make you happy. Buy it. And in the end, he bought it because she told him to. And that was really quite lovely to see. So we have two different relationship dynamics here. We have a husband and wife who will talk about their finances because maybe they didn't have as much money. And then you have another couple that, you know, she actually really loved her man and enough to say, buy it, go on. I know it will make you happy. So that you have that aspect. She understood him. The other one, they had to have a conversation, but at least there was an understanding between them and they had that chat. And going back to this discussion, because money does come into this thing, let's be honest here, when it comes to collectibles, expensive, because video games, they're not always expensive, but you know, retro games now, no secret here, they are expensive, and the stuff I sell is. But you know, it's wonderful when I see that couple have that conversation. The whole going back to the point about keeping the dragon happy, I'm gonna stick on this one. Okay, so we'll go with that.
Now, Viraj, don't worry about it. That's more of a loving
there,
thing.
basically. It's one of those.
We do that. We tease each other.
Gentlemen, has it occurred to you that keeping the dragon happy is you being happy as well? That she's happy from your happiness.
Yeah, this is more, you know, we tease each other. That's the one thing about married life is that there will come a time when you guys are comfortable enough that you guys rib each other and tease each other. And you know, it's something. It's an in-joke.
I don't see Miss Momo being a dragon. She just looks too innocent to ever breathe.
Oh, you have no idea.
I have to clear
have
the
no
Viraj.
idea.
I have to clear to Viraj, but you know, making the dragon happy, just keeping the dragon happy. Because whenever I buy something, right, like your story, she's gonna say, yeah, it's okay, you buy it. But sometimes if you said maybe, go ahead, buy it, it just, you know, it's just unknown to me because is he gonna be mad or is he gonna something like that. But if I buy it,
I have that too.
but if I buy it, there's gonna be an offering. It can be a watch or a nice dinner.
Okay.
In return.
I think as long as you know what each other like and you can help each other. I mean, these are material things. And it's like what Miss Momo said about, you know, certain things you can buy for him. I want to buy this for him because this is what he likes, and you're not sure about each other. You know, you'll know each other's quirks, obviously, being together as long as you have. I remember when I was with someone long ago, she bought me this lovely, you know, Sega thing, and I was really pleased with it. And I was over the moon when she bought me it because I didn't even ask her to get it, and she got it for me. So when you know someone, I feel, oh, I have to buy something back. So yes, as long as there's some degree of reciprocation, that's great. Another point I really want to quickly talk about is something that Sir Raymond, you know, made a point about, and his partner made about, which is make sure you pay your bills, guys. Make sure you make sure you pay your bills. That's the priority. I mean, if you don't want to pay your taxes, that's fair enough because tax is theft. But pay your bills, okay? I shouldn't say that. There's nothing more patriotic than paying taxes.
Also, before we continue, I would like to actually thank everybody who's watching right now. Also with our fellow ROI member Angeline Porter, who's just watching in Twitch right now. Also, one of a good brother of mine and also Quiz Joe, Cyprus here, Kenneth Saya Prashanos, along with his wife. Bro, hi. This is Mason. Hello. Thank you for dropping by and watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight's show. And he had said, "I like that term. You'll know each other's quirks." Yeah, exactly. You'll definitely going to get each other's quirk as time progresses. But you can't help but get this moment that even in the beginning of the relationship where you feel that like most of our significant others would think that like we're so 100% sure and confident in what we're doing, but in reality what's happening to our guys brain is that like we have like all this mathematical equation happening all at the same time because we're thinking of every probability. We're not sure if you woke up on the right side of the bed. Even if you're smiling, we feel like that smile might not be what I'm expecting. Let's try to anticipate what the scenario is. What's the first word she's gonna say? Hi, hon. How are you doing? Okay, that grunt means something. That's usually how our first years with you guys are. We're just too shy to admit it. That basically the whole point is that we're so scared to fuck it up that we think of 5, 6 probabilities,
Look at the run.
and then sometimes there's a level of adjustment that makes us so out of character that even you guys are like, "Not like this when we were dating. What's going on?" We're like, maybe maturity's kicking in. We're not sure. You were saying something?
Uh, no, I'm just gonna quote. I said, look at the rod.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's good ever myself because as I look at you and you're joined by the hip, you love each other deeply. All I say, and this is the point from the very beginning, from watching and listening to you guys, this is actually for all these questions. It all comes down to communication and respect and love for each other.
It is basically like the
Trust
whole
your
thing
partner
with
to
this.
tell them the thoughts. That's it. And a lot of
Yeah,
people get
a lot from Viraj. What I learned from Viraj this past few questions was like finding a middle ground, understanding, because like listening is different from understanding.
Yes.
And then know each other's quirks.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I learned 3 things from it.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm also gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
so
also gonna
Viraj
comment
is
on,
actually like the gaming guru right now. And it's like going,
I'm a
hey,
single
just,
guy.
just
What
throw
does that
some
say?
balls and try to do this. Why don't you?
I've just had
You'll
lots
be
of
fine.
I've
It's
had
not
lots
game
of
over.
good women. That's the truth. You haven't got a woman to know what they behave like, and I have a lot of experience watching other people and how they behave. And even though it's right in front of their noses, we can see it looking out in. And I've just become a great observer, not just like when I'm at work looking at all the other colleagues that I'm working with, but even as a trader, watching people's. It's I'm just a scientist. I analyze things. I watch how people behave, their quirks, how their wives look at them, and how the husbands look at their wives, and how you just see these little things, and they can't see it, but I can see it, and you can easily see if someone loves
You're
each
seeing
other.
the other
So
angle.
it's like
because
this.
you're not, yeah.
But no, even I look at Tom N10 because he's the most different out of all of you because his wife isn't into video games, so he's the one I've been watching quite intently, and I know his wife loves him dearly. To be with him, and she's not even into this. There's something about this man that she loves, even though she doesn't share that interest. And there's something really epic about that. I think that's just.
I'm gonna explain, Viraj. So I'm gonna
honestly
quote.
willing to do these things, and then there's you thinking, oh well, I can, and I'm thinking, I don't want to upset her. She loves you, man. She will tolerate this for you.
I know.
That's all it is.
So
That's all it is.
I'm just gonna quote someone, right? From what Viraj was saying. So Tereso was saying, give and take relationship. But I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna explain that. So for us, I just let her buy whatever she wants, so she can never say no to whatever I want. Right?
Hey, that's your sacrifice.
I mean, obviously, as long as you have communication about your financial obligations, paying your bills, as I mentioned earlier, I think communication is always the grand thing. And even me, I get tongue-tied when I was in a relationship. Oh, what if she says this? It's the fear of rejection or what she says no to me. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. You don't know until you have that conversation. If she says no, you have to respect the boundary. That's the end of it. But don't do it without her permission, because then she's going to be like, the reason you went and did it anyways, because you knew I would say no, and you didn't want to have that conversation, you coward. And that will make things even worse. So always have that conversation, no matter how bad it comes out. The worst you will say, or he will say, is no. Just try and reach a compromise. Then continue talking. That's what I will say. But I tell you, this is the most it's the thing that so many people. I've gotten it wrong. That's why I know so much about it, because I was so reserved about telling. I'm so scared of her saying, well, whatever. And I realized I should have had that conversation. I should have had that conversation. Why didn't I have the balls to have that conversation? Now, where was the cojones to say this? You know, I should have had pucker up the courage. And and that was in the confines of relationships. So you have to. It can be quite damaging if you're not honest and just to say to her or him, look, can we do this? Can we do that? It's just one of those things. That's with everything in regards to relationship. It doesn't just boil down to gaming and buying video games or collecting video games or I want to spend this much time playing this video game and things like this. These are things that we should always just have honest, frank conversations with. What's the worst that's going to happen? Honestly, from just having a nice conversation, make sure we talk nicely and use nice language, gentlemen. But then we're all good, and let's not get aggravated as well with our partners. And that's what I will say from what I see. But I see this all the time where couples are arguing on the phone. I'm thinking, good Lord, or arguing in front of me every now and then. I'm thinking, why don't they just take a step back, pause for a bit, think, calm their tongues, cool their tongues, and just have a conversation after. Say, look, sorry I said that, but this is what I really meant to say. How hard is it just to apologize when you get yourself into a rut? Apologize.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time with you.
Just accept you're wrong. I mean, there's so much pride that some of these people have. They can't just accept these men. It's typically men and women as well. They just women more now.
Yeah, but I don't
They
think
don't
I hear
they
you
don't
saying those words either, though.
Hey, I do apologize to you.
Yeah, your way of
When
apologizing.
you wake up my dragon.
Yeah, your way of apologizing is serving you food. That's it. Here, eat.
And for more consultation,
agitated, just take a step back, calm down. I need to calm down for a bit. Come back, have a conversation. Okay.
Oh, I think Jomar was trying to say something. Jomar.
Go.
I was saying for more couple consultation, Raj. You can contact.
Yes, absolutely. Raj charges hourly, but his advice is very, very good.
The way I see it is, I'm just your friend. I'm a friend, giving you some free advice. This is nothing. You'll give me some advice if I want it.
I think it's that like what Viraj is doing. One of my best friend back in the States. He just joked about this, but it pretty much rings true. And he told us that like you have to enjoy the moment that most of your close friends or close buddies are still not married, because the moment that they get actually pulled away by the wedding ring, they're going to be on the same fence as you are, and you guys are not going to actually see the different angles that they are seeing, because that like you would see that like some of our wives, some of my friends' wives, all thinks that he or she is like this friend that's like trying to instigate to go back in the good old days, but in reality it's just like he or she's the one who's seeing the different angle that both of you are not seeing, because you're two, kind of like in a horse kind of way, that you have like these two things blocking your eyes, that both you and your wife are having this kind of opinions and whatnots that are completely just focused on each other, that you don't see that there's other possibilities, angles, and ways that you guys can actually find a middle ground. So that's why with like what the way that Viraj is saying it, he reminds me a lot of my best friend Kaz, that should it ever comes to that point, when he was even joking with me, it's like, the day that you get married, Shin, I know that I could never talk to you again. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm still gonna talk to you. It's like,
I said the same thing to my best friend Najib. He got married. I said, listen, your wife is now your best friend. I'm not your best friend anymore. And that was hurtful for me to say to him, because he was
say it like that. He kind of said it more like that. The way that, like, my opinion and my point of view is definitely going to change the moment that I'm already in a relationship kind of way. If I was still like that single gaming friend, I am going to see that other angles that even his significant other is not seeing, because I'm pretty much outside of the problems that they have within their internal house. So the way that he sees it isn't like, if his wife would ask for my advice because I'm seeing all these other probabilities, but in their case, it's like when they said, like, when I finally got married, they're like, yeah, that's it. We're not gonna hear anything from him ever again. But actually, there's one of the things I want to actually brought up here before we go to the next question is that Aislinn has another question here. And by the way, Rosai, thanks for the input here. And JDM, Gois, happy wife, happy life. Aislinn Porter said here, I think it's easier for us gals to find gamer partners than for guys to find gamer gals. Does everyone find that true or not really?
I mean, heck, but men in general make up the biggest demographic when it comes to gaming. I mean, traditionally speaking, but it is coming to the point where the divide is going to be even, almost split. Like there's going to be a 50-50. Traditionally, it's always been easier for the ladies to find male gaming partners. For the males, I just lucked out because the missus is a gamer from the very beginning. But going forward, it might be a little bit easier for the kids because, like Viraj says, mobile gaming is introducing a lot of ladies into the gaming sphere. Once they graduate from mobile gaming, not so much graduate as it is, they look at other options. They will see other games available to them, both retro and modern and future. So it's going to be a little bit easier going forward. There to be a 50-50 split.
I disagree with you on the 50-50. I do think we'll play more and more games, but I think predominantly or mostly be more men, which is why it's easier for women to find more male gaming partners than men finding women partners. I think there will always be traditional. I know this sounds really sexist to me, but I do believe it to be the truth. There'll always be those traditional gender roles, and to be honest,
it's not sexist if it's true.
Yes, it is. I think women will always be more into feminine things, and I'm not saying that gaming isn't feminine. It has become more feminine because our video games designed for women now, or particularly for women, and women can play all sorts of games. But I do think it is a masculine hobby. It always has been, to be honest, or for kids, and become more for the teenager, and going on. There's a lot of adult games out there, and that Sir Joe is a big funder of. But we have lots of video games out there that men predominantly will go for, and I do think that. But I think it doesn't matter, to be honest, as long as you can understand whether your partner's a gamer or not, as long as you can communicate, because it doesn't matter whether you're playing a video game, whether you're watching a movie, whether you're doing rock climbing or hiking or whatever, as long as you're on the same page and communicate and have that understanding, that transcends in every sort of hobby or interest you're doing. With gaming, however, you just got to know your limits because of online gaming, mobile gaming, like I said, with no pause button. And I know Sir Joe, he won't like what I'm about to say, but RPG gaming is incredibly time consuming, and you do need to know when to have that pause button and get some sleep, man. Your wife is right. Yeah, get some sleep. Okay, gentlemen, you need to sleep. Okay, I can't stress how detrimental not sleeping is to your life and your health. Get some good sleep.
Yeah, and that's enough playing Train Simulator from me, Viraj. Okay, that's enough.
Goodness. All right. Well, let's try to actually move on to the next question. Han, take it away.
Have you bought him something that's related to his love or a love for game? Have you bought him something that related to his love for game?
Like, I guess it's kind of like a show and tell. Like, ladies, what are the things that you have brought for him? Should you ever bought one? So let's start with Dan. Take it away.
Yes, I've bought you a couple of games, which so at Christmas time and birthday, I always ask Dan to write me a list of games that he would like. And then from a list of maybe 5 to 10 games, I'll buy him a couple. And I've stopped doing that recently because the games that I have bought you've absolutely hated. Was it Red Dead 2?
Red Dead Redemption 2, which is one of the most boringest games I've ever played in my life, and I really wanted it. Everybody had hyped it up. I love a Western cowboy game. Love that setting.
I went to several stores to try and find it. I even went into the game shop in the UK and knew that it was in there because I'd seen it online, but I couldn't find it on the shelf. So I exited the game shop. I then purchased it online and bought it for collection, and then 20 minutes went back into the shop to collect it, and then he hated it.
So yeah. And the other one as well was Trials of Cold Steel. Same thing. Just bored me. Just really long, slow. Just dull games. So yeah, sorry, Flower. I apologize. I do feel a bit bad about that because I want them to. Sorry.
Yeah. So now I just say to him, give it a couple of weeks after Christmas, and then go into the shops yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So now we've heard Sir Dan. Now let's try to hear Ate. Ate, pasok.
So, meron ka bang
I
binili?
remember it's not really gaming, pero it's a toy.
Toy.
Remember your Transformer?
Which one? Oh, si Prime?
Si Prime, yeah.
The first one is
Diba yan
Prime.
Sa Walter
Yeah.
ano sa Marami?
Yeah, so we bought Jetwing Optimus Prime.
Where?
Walter Mart sa may
Walter Mart.
Makati.
So, I know it's been like more than 10 years, so 1 decade na yun. I think, kailan ba yan? Hindi ko makakalimutan yung ngiti mo no na parang that's the sweetest smile. Pero sayang hindi ko naaalala ang i-video ka, pero yung ngiti mo noon para kang ngiting tagumpay. Pero I think yun na naaalala ko. Meron ba? I don't know.
I mean, wala akong biniling
Yeah.
game. I mean, game-wise. I mean,
No.
kasi you don't know what exactly like I
kasi
want.
ang alam ko lang gusto mo may anime na syempre mababaeng mga ano mo yun, mga sexy.
Mga waifus daw.
Ano?
It's called waifus. Wife. But the waifu.
Basta nakikita ko lang mostly mga anime na hindi ko maintindihan kung anong
Na malalaki din.
Oo. Kaya I just buy, di ba yung mga gift card, not gift card.
So what she's talking about is yung gift cards from EB Games or RCX, yeah, or brochure or vouchers, yeah.
Voucher. Kasi nga hindi ko alam kung anong specific I mean games na trip mo. Pero ang napapansin ko lang kasi puro anime nga. Pero syempre hindi ko maalam kung anong meron at wala ka pa at kung anong gusto mo. So
right.
I think counted na yun.
Counted yun, definitely. It's related to the gaming, to the gaming experience.
Alright. Madami-dami to. Mukhang it seems like everybody's starting to make their list now. Like most of all the ates here are all like, trying to remember each and every one of them. So, Ate Mara, ano mga binili mo para kay Quiz Ninong Mon?
Dami na eh. Siguro ang anuin ko na lang is yung first thing that's gaming related that I got him, and then the last thing. So first thing was the Xbox 360, and then the last thing was this game. So first bed.
Oh yes.
Big man. Big game.
Hanggang ngayon tinulugan ko muna. I hate RPGs. Well, pinili ko siya.
I didn't tumakit. Ayun. Tapos, ikaw naman, the first thing gaming related that he got me was the Switch Lite. Nintendo Switch Lite together with the Animal Crossing game during the pandemic. And then the last one is this. It's a Game Boy Color.
Very nice. I can tell that.
There's too many to mention the rest in between. So, just the first and the last.
I can tell if you two lived in the UK, you'd be like my best customers because Nintendo handheld.
Likely, yeah.
I'm a Nintendo girly, so.
See, look, yeah, okay, I'll win with your wife. She'll buy lots of games from me, that's for sure. I have lots of games, but not very.
All right. Okay, so we'll go next with Quiz Mar, Ate Ten, ano ba mga nabili mo dyan?
Just like with Mara, I'll just say the first one. I think it was that World of Warcraft game.
Yeah.
Is it like
I
whole
actually
thing?
remember that one. She's the one who got me into that.
So that's the first thing that I remember that I got him. And then just last Christmas, I got him this arcade one-up X-Men.
Oh wow!
That's the one, yeah. That's the one. And then the kids also like give him something too because of this thing that he's into. So the kids also like gave him on Father's Day. Was it Father's Day last year or this year or something? That PS Portal and the PSVR. So then even the kids are also giving him something because the kids are working now. So now there are more people gifting him for this.
But the first game that she gave me, the World of Warcraft, I still have that back up until now. It's back on when was that? The 90s, right?
Sweet naman.
No, not in the 90s even. Was it in the 90s? Oh no, 2000. The early 2000. Yeah, early 2000. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, just those things.
Okay. So what about Ninang Quiz, Ate Ninang Tere? What did you got Quiz Ninong Joy?
Well, I think for me it was easier when he was still in the Philippines. It was easier to get him and give him a lot of gaming stuff. So I got him like the PSP and the Xbox and the PS3. But PS3 was here.
Was when we were here. You brought me the entire collection of the Baldur's Gate saga for PC, the big box collection. She took all the trouble of bringing all of those large boxes in her baggage from here in the US all the way to the Philippines. She, did everything. She even gaming related. There was also Civilization, the board game, right?
Yeah.
Civilization, the board game, which was a huge board game that she stuffed into her carry on, if I remember correctly, and she brought all the way to the Philippines. And I guess I she knows exactly what I like. And there was a time when the PS3 was really hard to find. She went out of her way to find it and get it for me, the big fat PS3. The Wii was almost impossible to find during the first 6 months of its release. She went out of her way to really find one and get it for me. It's She knows the things that I like gaming wise, and I give her. It's kind of hard actually for her because of the fact that a lot of the stuff she likes is digital, but I did give her the complete set of the all-in-one collection of Kingdom Hearts on PS4. I do give her the keychain necklace of the Keyblades for Kingdom Hearts. She's a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. Um, Non-gaming related, I gave her the complete box set of the Blu-ray of Twilight. I hate that movie series, but I absolutely hate it. But I gave it to her, so it's it's one of the things she loves, that blasted movie series.
Oh god.
Absolutely hate it, but I gave it to her. So it's like one of those things that you just do one thing that you don't completely understand, but that's how love is. It's we. Oh, and another thing is that she knows I'm a huge reader, and one of the biggest things in my life was choose your own adventure. Growing up, for was it Father's Day? I don't quite recall. She
I think it
gave
was your birthday.
Yeah, it was my birthday. She gave me the entire classic collection of Choose Your Own Adventure from number one all the way to the very end. Spent a really good amount of money for it, and it felt like I was being given back a large part of my childhood then. So it's a huge. Yeah, there you go. Dan says Baldur's Gate collection tips hat to Mrs. Today. What a present. Yes, an amazing present for me. Sad to say I had to leave the large box in the Philippines, but I brought the games, the discs over here when I immigrated. So basically the biggest things that she gave me, I treasure, I keep. If not for the fact that they're still here, I make sure that they're still in well kept condition. I It's the fact that she always goes out of her way to find the things that I like and give them to me. So that's it. There you go.
Okay. Now, okay. Of course, I guess I actually have to share mine. So, Han,
All right.
your most
So
memorable ones.
my most memorable gift, it's not game related, but it's 1963 Cyberman from Doctor Who.
Oh,
And
nice.
super rare item na. So I really tried hard to get this one from an auction. And when he got it, he was so happy because he's a big fan of Doctor Who. And then I figured out that he's more onto playing, though he's playing with this one. So I was like, okay, let me get you a controller. So I bought him a wired controller because he misses the retro feel of the wired controllers
It's not that it's a retro feel. It's just that you cannot play a fighting game playing with a wireless
with a
controller.
Bluetooth.
It's
Yeah.
the input is very, very different.
Mm.
There's like
No,
a 1 millisecond difference.
Yeah. And
no.
then
Okay, go on.
of course, my our son is like curious about the fighting game, and he's punching in the air, and I was like, oh, this is dangerous. He might punish his classmates or something whenever he hears him playing. So I bought him this K video headset, so whenever he plays, he's the one who's only can listen to it, so it will be safe for the kid not to see violence during the game.
A part of me feels like the only reason why she bought me this is because she's not interested in whatever I'm playing.
Hey,
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you. I love you. But anyways, like yeah. So one thing that like because we actually are already hitting the 2 hour mark. Let's try to speed this up a little. You can actually bring in your opinion soon enough, Sir Viraj. But for now, let's go with number 6. The sixth question is it like give us an instance that you've seen your love for gaming truly shine. Just like a moment that you've just watched this person, like you've captured that moment at how much he loves gaming. And let's start with Sir Dan.
Every evening.
Every evening, yeah.
Mm.
Pretty much, yeah. And when we go to gaming events, when I beat tournament champions, we went to a gaming arcade event a while back, and they had a Street Fighter 2 tournament, and I was there. I just got there too late for it, so I had to play the champions of it after, and I perfected them, to be honest. So yeah, that was fun. I'm kind of like, yeah, my wench will appreciate that.
Wench.
Sorry, I wouldn't say biatch, but I didn't want to say it.
The way
Right, so, all right. Okay. Now
me.
let's try to go and listen to what Ate would say about Chrisio. Ate, pasok.
Really siya.
You know this.
I know. Ano bang mall yun? It's like a random
It was
mall.
around,
Hindi man. Parang
and-
luma lang na mall.
di ba siya Grand Central? No.
I don't know.
Wala nang Grand
Sa
Central
Manila.
nun.
Hindi ko alam.
Is it Harrison?
I don't know. Pero
Or
sa Maynila
sa
yun
Maynila yun
somewhere.
somewhere?
Na kasi may bibilin ba ako? So we saw this parang mga arcade.
Yeah.
And then we saw na it's like a coin operated arcade.
Di ba token pa yun?
Okay. Hindi nga eh. As in, I remember I gave you 5 peso coin.
Yeah, ha?
And then after an hour na, so iniwan ka ta doon. Tapos sabi ko, sige, babalikan kita dito, maglaro ko muna dyan. Kasi ewan ko ano ba hinahanap ko nung araw na yun. Tapos after an hour and a half, naglalaro pa rin siya doon. At hindi siya na-dead. So, I think yung 5 pisong yun eh. Kung hindi ko pa siya niyayang umalis noon, hindi pa siya matatapos. Tama ba?
I think I was playing Marvel versus Capcom at the time. Yeah. It was a fighting game.
So, that 5 peso coin lasted for an hour and a half.
Lasted for an hour and a half.
Well, actually, dapat longer pa. Pero kasi, kailangan namin umalis noon. At sinabi ko nang tapusin mo na yun, magpa-dead ka na dyan.
Oh, no, I did not. Tinapos ko yun.
Tinapos mo ba? Akala ko na-deads ka.
I'm not sure kung na-dead ako. But
remember.
I feel, you know what? I think na-dead na ako. I don't know.
Oo, ewan ko, hindi ko maalala. Pero, yun nga. Pero, yeah,
It's like, I'm not sure if, I think I'm 80% certain tinapos ko talaga siya. But I mean, I think tawa ako nagmamadali tayo nun, so yeah.
Oo.
I mean,
Kalahating oras
I mean, I could have just, I could have just through the match. I don't know, maybe.
All right. So before we actually start to ask everybody on the panel, Rose, I said here, way back, I used to love retro games, especially the Pokemon GBA game series Crystal, Silver, Red, Blue, etc. But at some point, I ended up being addicted in collecting anime figurines, since some was given to me as a gift from her. Oh, Sis Mason. Yee! Oh, so nakakaramdam pa rin pala, Sis Mason na. So you can definitely relate in this topic. So, tawag dito, like, let's start with Ate Mara. When was the time that you actually felt like yung talagang kitang-kita mo yung gaming moment na talagang gamer talaga tong asawa ko? I can tell that he really, really loves this hobby.
Well, the main fact that his business, our business, is related to gaming. Diba? So, gaming console rental, and parating pa ang new edition of the Dance Dance Rep. So, every day is an instance where I see that he loves the game. And you can also, observe from like what comes out of his mouth. Diba? So, mostly it's about gaming. So yeah, it's every instance of his life, every waking moment.
Raymond has that meme expression where his eyes are shifting left and right. You know that meme.
Hindi na maintindihan yung question, kailangan ko pa i-translate. Ewan ko kung ngayon
It's like, kunyari si Ate Mara, like if she's playing a video game and you just like, you stare at her and you see that like, yeah, I can tell that she's a gamer. This is like, she really loves it because of the way she passionately plays this game. Like how much she put her soul into it. Parang ganun ba? Like tawag dito. Have you ever had that moment ba, Kuya Cinnamon?
Naiintindihan ko naman. Ito naman, pinakaano mo naman.
Laga na.
Sakit naman, sakit yun. No, the way he plays Animal Crossing.
nga ako.
She plays. Ano ba?
Nakita ko ba na she ako?
Nakita ko na yun. Ayun,
Magulo
when
po,
she
more
plays
than-
Animal Crossing, by means of, she has the Monopoly game, tapos nagpa-ship pa kami kay Tito Jomer ng guidebook ng Animal Crossing. At the same time, how he spends time on
My stickers.
stickers, tapos
For our
yung
business.
terraforming his island sa ano
Turn
eh.
na ako.
Oh nga, ano ba? Ano pa? Ano pa yung nakita ko yun, the passion for gaming and ayun, sa Animal Crossing is beyond dun sa ano sa kay Mara with regards to playing. So sabi nga niya, nakikita niya nga yung saya ko every time na sa console services at that time, and when nasa conventions kami, pag nakakita ko ng bata and yung mga families naglalaro, yung smile sa sa mata ko na seeing them being happy playing video games, nakikita rin niya, tapos nare-realize niya mahal niya to, mahal niya yung gaming industry. And ayun.
Saka Maddie is also a gamer. Maddie, right?
Oh.
Are you a gamer?
Hello.
Oh no, here we go. We heard that. Oh, it's the R
Here we go.
word. The R word.
Bye, Roblox girl.
Ayun. Huwag naiintindihan ko yung tanong, nakakainis to.
Okay, so let's try to move kay Ate Ten. Ate Ten, what was the moment na nakita mo yung na talaga gamer talaga tong asawa ko? What was that moment you ever saw that
Ever since I met him, I already know that there's this like great passion in game. And the one thing that will testify and justify that is every time that he was getting or acquiring something he likes, make kilig factor. He always has kilig factor. Like if it's not really, like I mean, I can kilig factor in the way that he's so really excited. He's really like very ecstatic to that thing that he acquired, and you can see the glow, the aura, that it's something different. Yeah, and then he might not be that type that will be doing a lot of household chores, but you can see he's dusting the shelves with all his collections. At least on that part, he's always maintaining the
Good.
proper positioning and organize it all the time. So that's really one thing that I can really see that his gaming passion really shines. Because even the shelves are shining. And
OCD
also
coming
like
in.
another instance too that I also noticed that is like that beaming on his eyes, like when he got that Black Lotus before. Oh my god. And he never stopped talking about it. Even if I don't understand, that Magic Gathering Black Lotus, he keeps explaining it to me. Like he keeps like giving me all the details about that card. So I was like, okay. So will it make it is it a fortune? Like, yeah.
Para hindi mo matanong yung presyo, Ate Tenny.
Right?
No.
It's not like it's gonna cross your in front of you on one lifetime, right? It's a Black Lotus. The name itself is already very prestigious.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
I don't have any idea on that one, but the way he explains it, I know it's valuable.
Whatever it is, he loves it. Okay, so
Parang
ano
hindi mo
naman,
na raw
si,
tanongin kung magkano yung presyo ng Black Lotus, kaya ina-explain ni Tito Jomar.
So, it's priceless.
It's priceless
That's
daw,
what I can
pero
say.
pricey. It's priceless, but it's pricey.
Okay.
No.
yeah.
Don't go there. Don't
Wala na
go there.
mag-google.
Don't go there.
Okay. It's already
Um,
okay.
Elaborate.
Stop snitching on each other. Right? Snitches get stitches.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Whatever you do, make sure that she doesn't jump to Google and check out how much Black Lotus is. Tawag dito, Ninang Tere, when was the moment that you ever see Christine and Joel shine? Like his eyes are glowing, like see the youth coming back into him, and then there's like this moment na ano, which like have you ever had that experience with him?
Yeah, so every time that, well, like last Sunday, his eyes were closed.
Oh,
We
recently.
were in Marcades, which is like an arcade, and they have lots of retro arcades. So that was one instance. So whenever we go to an arcade center, I see that passion and I see his eyes, like a kid in a candy store type. And whenever he plays his fishing games or civilization, I always admire him, especially in Civ. I learned from him to be aggressive, and he's such a risk taker. So, and then obviously all the collections that we have of the games, the the gaming cabinets that we have. So those, and when he goes to events, gaming events, he could spend hours upon hours of like looking into the games and the merchandise.
Mhm.
Mm.
As
Yeah.
for her, I see her shine in gaming when she's playing with her moving dolls, The Sims. When you can tell that she's really invested into the characters of that she's created because, well, one, she's created us as a family in The Sims. Another is that she has these little characters separate from us that she kind of has follows the storylines of. And I see that she really dedicates time and effort into investing into their storylines. Also in Stardew Valley, you can tell that she really wants to hit all the highest levels. Everything. The fact is, both of us, we might have different interests in terms of gaming, but we can see the how each one of us really shines when it comes to the gaming moments that we have. And it's a good thing. I like the fact that she can see my point of view. I can see her point of view. And I guess the fact is she's very subdued. She's very subdued as a person. It's kind of hard to shop for her because she doesn't like, she doesn't like going ostentatious. She always goes for the most basic things. When her clothes, she sometimes has clothes that are still she still wore when she was way back, single and before we got married.
I
But
still have some clothes from when I was in high school.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. But the fact is, when it comes to gaming, I can see that there will be instances where she really gives her all in it, and I admire that in her. So yeah, that's how we are.
I see. All right. What about you, Han? Do you find any shining moments or?
I did.
Mm,
That was when Ninong Joel and Kuya Jo visited the Philippines.
mm.
It was my first time to see you do the freestyle in the DDR. And I was like, what the heck? Even Kuya Joel and the rest are surprised that you can dance on the dance floor even though you're chubby. But I still love you.
Ouch.
he was like hovering on the dance pad. I was like, you're chubby, but you can dance like that. Oh my gosh.
Really stuck it in there.
How skinny met back in the day, okay? So wait, it's on
I'm
everyone.
surprised.
She's
So
really emphasizing that.
She just has like, look at how chubby he is, but he's so cute, dancing around like a little teddy bear dancing on the dance pad.
actually, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
But it
Wow.
was cute. I was like surprised, and I saw you, like you went back from your high school days Yeah, and then every time that you and me go to the arcades, I search for a dance pad. Like, hey, there's a DDR here. Come on, come on, come on.
Well, why- it's like a little
Dance.
circus dance. Hey, that's monkey dance. Come on, look at that. Look at see this. There's a dancing kid over there. Come on, little monkey, to go dance. Um, well, in on your side, it's like in regards to Momo. I think the time that like I see you shine more was actually it's like in mobile gaming. To be honest,
Mm.
I mean, I have seen you play God's Eater. I have seen you play all these other games, but nothing compares to that moment that even though you would completely like shield yourself to the world and hold your and like no, but it's like even if like a nuclear apocalypse happened, it's just you're so focused. But it's just that passion that you had where you you literally like so honed in your game that I was like, this is the girl that I married. It's like, I
Like,
know you're into gaming, but I never really saw you that honed in on a game before. That even it surprises me that, it's like only I see that to most of my peers and sometimes even on myself that see you basically get that competitive. To see that you get frustrated that you don't get to that specific ranking, even though I don't care much about like going into the ranking of this game or whatever, seeing you try to strive into this game, have to join in on a community, and then like all these people that you basically play like this guild. Shout out to Noy Tankers, if you guys are watching. I I was like, I could even want to ask you to do a certain favor in the house. I rather prefer to do it myself because I was like, I don't want to break this moment because like this is the girl that I married and this is who you are. I don't want to ruin it. I'm just like I just gotta keep watching you like,
watching
uh
me, watching me ordering my teammates.
yeah, get frustrated and then like try to tell them how silly they are. But yeah, but that's pretty much just like one of those thing that I find like, amazing with like, and I'm sure like with everybody's experiences here. But we are now reaching to that part. Now this is
Mm.
that moment where I'm going to ask each and every partners here, do you have any messages to your gaming husband? Now let's start with Sir Dan, Sir White.
Excuse,
Um, yep,
Mama Chu. So,
yes,
there's one question from Tenny.
Oh,
yes, go
because
ahead,
we
go ahead.
okay, we just keep talking about like the support, the love, the shining moment. But I also wanted to check on the like a little bit on the other side because it's not always those things happening all the time in reality, right? Because there will
Yeah,
also be time that you get so pissed, you get so annoyed, you reach your limit
yes.
every time that there are things like that happening. So what's the worst thing that you have done
Ooh.
to your partner's games or collections or something because of those things? Like if they are really like
That's a good
pissed you off
question.
too much, like so much.
Controversial.
Yeah, that's actually a good question, Ate. Let's start with let's start with Christine Mon then Ate Mara.
Wala
No,
pa
I
na.
never got to that point. Ano?
Well, hindi, kasi I'm I'm the type who just keeps quiet when I'm really, really mad. So it means I'm tired of arguing. I'm not even gonna, you know, waste my time. So he can read naman those times.
So, never pa naman na
So regarding what was that comment earlier, yung about nagging? Again, women will never nag, okay? If at first palang, first request, you do it, we're not gonna nag. So if I ask you to do something, sabi niya kasi, you're nagging. It's because you haven't done it. Okay? So we're not gonna nag if you do it the first time we ask you to do it. That's it. So, yan na naman. But no big
like nagbasag ka ng
situation niya. Wala
controller,
naman.
nagbasag ka ng console.
Hindi kami violent.
Yeah.
Madaan
Wala,
ka sa
wala.
tingin.
Kasi pag siya tumingin na, wala. Ay ramdam ko naman yun pag may something's wrong na with regards to
I won't bother. Talagang, I just won't
lang
bother.
ako yung makakaramdam. Pero yung mga violent na like, yun nga, yung magpapasag kang controller or kaya hahampasin mo yung monitor. Wala pa naman. Wala naman
Gusto
nangyari
ko
sa
lang
amin.
kasi, I want to eat together. Have a meal together. Pero if you're playing a game and I'm calling you, the food is getting cold because
Yeah.
you're still playing. Like earlier today,
Ay.
Oh, ML. Sabi ko, let's
Oh,
eat na.
Ay, nakita
So,
ko ah.
so I started without him. He just
Well,
followed.
come on, man. Your wife made some food. Go eat it. What's going on?
I don't cook, but
Give it if you want to
you know,
play. I make my own food. Man,
I just read.
what
Ako
is this?
nagpainit nun.
Man, you got when you watch the video game, you get the food, you eat the dinner together. Alright?
Yeah,
Just
Saka
pull
ano,
together.
non-negotiable.
non-negotiable.
Not negotiable.
Alright, so okay, so wala, ano, nagkakaramdaman kayo. So basically, Kuis Ninumon feels the situation, and then it doesn't escalate to a point that like a
Hindi
material
naman ako
frame.
manted. Lalo na pag yung dragon nagiging ano na.
So you have to
Lumalabas
beat the
na
dragon.
yung sungay.
Mm. Okay, so since ilalas kita Ate Penny, all right? So quiz Ninong Joel and then Ate Ninang Terry. Does it ever occur to you guys like yung tanong nga ni ano?
Actually, we're similar now. We're not violent, so we just basically, if it gets to that point, normally I just sleep. So no, since we do our gaming normally in the evenings, so when it gets to a point na I'm tired and he's still doing it or whatever, then I just end up sleeping.
Yeah. Well, in our case, to expound, it's more a case of the fact that if we get into a conflict, we don't take it out on each other's stuff or each other's collections or things like that because we respect the time, money, and effort that either of us put into the things that we collect, and kind of destroying or hurting another person through his or her stuff or collection is really a complete disrespect of how much effort he or she put into getting it all together. It's not productive. It's actually extremely destructive for you to do something like that. In our case, there will be times when we don't understand each other. There will be times when we argue. It's part of life. It's part of how you are as a couple. There will always be conflicts. But the important thing about it is you just try not to have that conflict go head to head against each other. Try not to have it butt against each other because of the fact that you'll just be shouting and you'll just be there. It'll just be 2 points of view arguing against each other. Neither of you will be willing to budge or understand. You just let it, you just let it, you just let one person vent and the other person can say something later on. But at the end of it, always try your very best to understand and apologize. And, it's never come to the point where we have destroyed or done anything to any other material goods because we understand that those are just byproducts of who you are. The argument is with you.
So we try to talk it out more
Mhm.
than anything.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Ate Tenny, Quiz Jom?
Ah, ay ako muna. So, totally ako doon kay Tito Joe. At totoo naman 'yun. So, at the background, I was thinking kung yung sinasabi niya, I was thinking talaga deeply, ano ba 'no? So, ikaw na, sige na.
Oh, gaming gaming wise, we really did not have a big argument
Mm.
about like if he's not really following or listening to me if I tell him to stop or if there's a certain time that I wanted him to be done for that game. Or like sometimes even if there will be a long game that he will be playing, I'm even the one bringing him some snacks because I don't want him to be like starving himself while he's playing. And I always tell them, and not just him but also my son, always drink more water. I don't want you to be like dehydrating yourself just because of your game. So I'm even the one that is kind of like their health advisors whenever like advisors every time they are gaming. probably the only thing that I would just say, and it's kind of like in a conflict with what Tito Joel was saying about the destruction of the things or something. So back in the days when we were just starting, I think we had an argument, but not game related. But I know that it will hit him the most if I did something to his game, like soul. So I think I pull out that tool during that time. I pour like not of him. I did not tell this to him right there and then, but I pull it out because I know that when he finally check it out and see it, that's when he will realize, oh my God, I did really something wrong. That's why we came to this point, or she was the one like into this activity or something. I pull it out and I pour a glass of water on that PS2. That's the thing. Yeah. I'm not into like throwing things. I don't throw things. I will not hit you, but I will maybe like do something kind of bad in your things.
Wait,
Yeah.
I still have that PlayStation 2 and still works. By the way, and yeah, it still works. It still works. So I have it on the basement. But I do remember that. I
Yeah, I
think
even dry it up a little bit too. Like I put a towel, I put it on top of the towel, and then I put a glass of water on it. I said like maybe it will stop working, but who knows? But I will not really make it so obvious that I wet it out. But that's how what I did.
so. So I remember that that time. I would say I deserve that. I totally deserve it. I totally deserve it. No question. Even if he threw the PlayStation 2 outside and broke it, it's fine. I totally deserve that.
Yeah, but it's not game related
No,
during
no,
that
no,
time.
not
Yeah,
game
it's not
related.
a related argument. But I know that that will hit him bad if he will see his console had malfunctioning or something. But I did not throw it on him. I did not throw it outside. I just
But
put a glass of water on
but it
it.
doesn't look wet.
Maybe it's thirsty too. So let's see. Okay, drink.
But what is amazing, it's still working.
Well, it dried up.
You're lucky.
Dried
You're
up.
lucky.
Yeah, I'm lucky on that one because I brought it from the Philippines when we migrated here. I bought it, but I still tested it. It still works.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
You got very lucky because out of all four systems of that generation, when
Right.
I worked in a shop, 'cause I worked in a shop selling these things. The PlayStation 2 is the one I got back with most faults, and it's always to do with the optical drive. That was always the issue I had with it. Obviously, so for those of you listening, auto and consumer electronics do not go well together. Okay?
Right.
They're not good bedfellows. Do not rest your drinks on your consoles. That's why they had to redesign. Because this is an interesting story. With the original Nintendo, the biggest problem people had in America was they rested their drinks on it and it would spill on the Nintendo. Which is why in America they designed their Super Nintendo to have all these bumps and ridges, so these Americans wouldn't put their drinks on top of them. You know, obviously those of us in the PAL region in Japan who were sensible, we got a nicer looking Super Nintendo, not the ugly one the American got. But,
yeah, the people in the swamps were, kind of pride themselves in not putting their, putting their drinks on their consoles. But it's part of American culture because in arcades we would have our drinks on the arcades too. We would put them on top and we drink. Anyway, Shin, bring us home. Let's do the messages then.
All right, so I guess we can go with like the messages right now. Do you guys have any messages for your significant others who are gamers? And let's start with Sir Dan.
The message to you.
Yeah.
No.
Well, when we rehearsed it, she said, "I'm not buying you any more games for you."
Yeah.
But she can't read the cues.
Because I can't
So,
say.
it's just like playing Gold. This is what she's like playing Golden Axe. You see what I mean? Anyway, that's my beloved Lindsay. I hope you're all good. I hope your gaming partners allow you to game and don't block it out of your lives. Because it is great sharing an hobby with your partner. And like I say, I've had a few health issues, so I can't do it as much as I like. But as that health improves, I'm hoping that me and Linz can game a bit more, and I can introduce you to some more games, such as the fantastic plethora of games I have behind me. She didn't even touch Star Control yet, you know what I mean? So I've got to get her on Star Control. So, hope you all have a great day. and keep your gaming timeless. There we go. Well done.
Nice.
Not gonna play Starfield.
All right.
Goodness me. Not gonna play that.
All right. And now let's try to move into Quiz Jo and Ate. Pasok.
Message.
Tuloy mo lang.
Ah,
Tsak masaya.
kung saan ko masaya, di bahala ka. Ay, sorry.
Sumagitan ka.
Oo, basta alam mo yon syempre, ang tao naman, syempre, you need a hobby. Hindi naman pwedeng trabaho ka lang ng trabaho. Tapos, alaga ka lang ng alaga ng bata.
We need
Syempre,
an outlet, guys.
yun, you know,
We need the
siguro yun.
outlet.
Oo, so, siguro kung ako, may time lang ako. Kasi nung bata ako, I really wanted a dollhouse. And then he bought me one, a Barbie dollhouse.
I did bought her a dollhouse. It's right there.
Yeah, but then of course hindi ko siya malaro.
Yeah. So it's so we built that thing, and like she only interacted with it like for a couple of days, and then
No, hindi na pwede because I wasn't.
Yeah, I
wala pa
mean,
si Cadence.
yeah, no.
Yeah, kasi.
I mean,
and
you go to
then-
work, stare at the thing,
Oh yeah.
sleep, and
then
rinse and repeat.
kasi nga marami siyang small parts, so kailangan natin itago kasi yung bata kakainin niya. Needed
I mean, it's right there.
But yeah, so anyway, so tuloy mo lang yan, but make sure na you're saving. Syempre para sa future and
Am I really?
I don't know, you have to. Yeah, and then just enjoy it. Enjoy your collection na I don't know, kaya naman matatapos yung collection na yan, siguro forever.
Nah. I mean,
Lovely.
Okay. Now, before I jump in from everyone in the panel, may message dito ang significant other ni Quiz JDM, si Ate Enma I. Message to Juan De Marcos, okay lang maglaro ng mahabang oras basta pause muna tapos huwag kalimutang maligo.
So
Always
the
don't forget to
translation,
take a
it's
bath.
all right. It's all right to game for a long time. Just don't forget to take your bath. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
stare at me. hon.
What's that oily hair?
Anyways, let's start with Quiz Ninong Joel. I mean, Quiz Ninong Mon. Sorry. Quiz Ninong Mon and Ate Mara. Ate Mara, do you have any message for Quiz Ninong Mon?
I agree. Dapat maligo. Take a bath. It's another thing. He's not here, but he will watch the replay for sure. Sometimes, kasi his reasoning is, I didn't go out today. I was just gaming. Because still, it doesn't mean that the bacteria in your body stop, developing or whatever. So, yeah, so just take a bath and then eat on time, eat with your family, and of course, pay your bills first above everything else. But other than that, actually, we each have our own section. So we don't have to wait for the other to finish what he or she is doing because we have our consoles and I know we have separate. We don't share. I don't like sharing kasi I'm a bit I'm very careful with my stuff. So if other people borrow it, I expect them to take care of it the way that I do. So and he knows that. Tapos yeah, so just don't use my stuff. Don't use my stuff. Stick to your own
Alright.
stuff. Yun lang. Wala siya, kinuha niya na yung DDR. So dumating na yung DDR.
The DDR
Oh, yeah.
already.
Buy
Okay.
a bigger house. If you want to collect more stuff, buy a bigger house.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Ano si Ate Enma ay, yay! Ate Mara appeared. Ako, delikado. Magkakaroon ng coalition of wives enforcing their husbands to take a bath before gaming. Tawag dito. Okay, thank you very much, Ate Mara. Let's go with Ate Tenny. Do you have any messages para kay Quiz Job?
Ako muna yung i-ano ko lang yung sinabi ni Eshi. So, ang sabi niya dun sa I totally agree with dun sa sinabi niya. I just to her what on PlayStation, I totally deserve it. 1,000% on that time. Okay.
Oh, message I only like the only message that I can probably give you regarding your love for game is just to keep that kid in you. Yeah, always keep that kid in you regarding your happiness with the games, and just yeah, just probably also a little bit to extend your caring for your games and your like being tidy with your games to the whole house and your collect. That's it.
Okay, that being said, so can I buy the rest of the Power 9?
What's that?
The one with the, Black Lotus and the other stuff.
Sorry.
Bumalik na naman tayo sa Black Lotus. Lagot ka pagka ikaw hindi mo nabili ang Black Lotus, yan wag mo kami sisisihin, ha? Okay, thank you very much, Ate
Okay,
Tenny.
thank you. Yeah, thank
All
you
right.
too.
Yes, so ngayon naman we'll go to Ate Ninang Terry. Ate Ninang Terry, do you have any messages for Quiz Ninong Joel?
Basically, keep enjoying the gaming. Eh, and I hope na we still, looking forward to all the other memories we can make with our shared, love of gaming, and to include our daughter as well, who's into gaming now. And just basically, I hope that we can discover a genre that we all can love together. And that way we can spend more family time together instead of
There
being
goes
in separate rooms.
And my message to her is thank you so much, sweetie, for being you, for understanding my passion, and for mm, tolerating when those moments when I may go a little bit beyond what you normally expect of me. But yeah, I am extremely thankful for how you are, how you care for me, and how you accept me for who I am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Quiz Ninong Joel, Ate Ninang Terry.
In.
All right, I
I'm
guess.
looking at Viraj's take. One moment. Very quickly, Viraj, what's your impression of the entire thing?
I think it's fascinating how different you all are from each other, but also how similar you are from each other, and how you've reached a mutual understanding of how how you live with each other. Whether you're a gamer couple or one of you is a gamer couple and one of it isn't. You talk about the trials and tribulations you go through, and you get through it. And I think it's a wondrous thing. JDM definitely needs to have a shower once in a while, and I totally agree with that. His hair's got more grease in the noodle I had earlier, so I just want to throw that out there. And it's got nothing to do with that. I just want to throw it out there. But no, I think it's a wonderful. It's a wonderful hobby. I know I can only speak from my experience because there is a stigma around gaming or guys who do gaming. They're addicts. They don't bathe. They don't do this. They don't do their chores. They're slobs. They're not serious about life, and that isn't always the case. And like with all things, it's all good things in moderation. You not just make sure you don't get addicted to these things. Like we had this discussion where you just mentioned World of Warcraft. That's a highly addictive game that just takes over your life. You know. So there we go. You just have to make sure that you play within your limits and you communicate with your partners. That's really it. I mean, in my case, I have suffered video game addictions. I'll put my hands up to it. As a teenager to a guy, as a late teenager, I was addicted. But my father, I didn't have a partner, but I had parents who took my video games away. They didn't throw them away. They took them away until I took my studies and everything seriously. So that's good parenting, I would say. As much as I hated my parents for that, we, switch game. I really do hate surprises because usually when somebody surprises me something, I don't really enjoy it. I'd rather just know what it is. I like it to be contrived. And in terms of giving a partner something, I had these. I think I posted it in our little group with my pin bag collection of video games I used to collect in the years. And I got her a Nintendo 64 pin. It was in my collection. I had two of them. I gave her one. It's an official one. And now I'm looking to sell my collection. And she's married now. She's got a kid of her own. So we're still good friends though. So I talked to her. I said, And she phoned me up one day. I was like, oh, you know those pins that I got? You still got them? Oh yeah, they're in my little jewelry box. I'm like, oh well, if you got you, can I have them back? And she goes, no, like because I want to give them to my son. I'm thinking, he would have been my son if things worked out. And then she started laughing. But no, I said, look, don't worry, keep them. So, but she actually, even though we're not together, she still is very fond of the stuff I gave to her, and she kept it. She didn't throw them out or anything like that. So it just shows, that sometimes gifting things. Because the reason I got the Nintendo 64 badge is because it was her favorite system. It was what her nostalgia, what she grew up with, and I was thoughtful in that regard. I'm quite thoughtful when it comes to gift giving, and that's why I'm very good at buying and reselling video games because I know what people want. I mean, it's just with regret, all of you don't live anywhere near me in London because I could take some serious money out of your pockets because I know exactly what you will like and I can find you something you want. I'm good like that. But it's a serious shame that you live, continents away because I want to take some serious cash out of those pockets. So you guys got too much money, man. You can give it to me. But all jokes aside, I think it's a wonderful thing that you found a way to get on with each other through communicating, and I've learned a lot from just watching you. How you love each other, how you compromise, and that's a word here I want to use because there's a bit of compromise here on both of your hearts, and marriage is a compromise, isn't it, ladies and gents? It is a huge compromise for those who are into gaming, and more so those who aren't. So there's a lot of things that I've picked up with all of you, and I've learned a great deal. So all I will say is, look, all good things in moderation, communicate, compromise, and understand, and that's really it. That's it. So, but yeah, it's been lovely, joining you guys on this journey of what it's like to be married to someone who's into video games and the trials and tribulations, and finding a way through it. Finding a way through it and being happy. For those of you who cannot be happy with a partner, you could be like me and just be happy and do what you want to do. Because you don't have to compromise at all. Anyway. Back to you.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess we can basically just oh yeah, okay. Do you have any messages?
Take a bath and drink water. Because whenever he plays, he forgets. He forgets taking a bath, and I was like, "What time is it now?" Yeah, I'm gonna take a bath.
Anyways, so that's
Kami ha.
Hindi daw eh.
Naliligo kami late lang.
That's right. We take a
24
bath
hours
because when you're asleep, that's when we take a bath.
Yeah,
Anyways,
and then don't forget to drink water because you also forgot to drink water while playing.
okay, I will.
So that's it. Just
Yes.
Yeah, drinking water.
Anyways, I'm lost for words. That's for today's episode. I guess we can try to wrap this up. Quiz Jo, shall take it away.
Oh, Jo, your volume is
Okay.
off.
So before we end the show, let's just do our obligatory ad breaks real quick. Let's go with
Okay.
BitMap and Streamyard. Do you like playing video games? Do you like reading about history? Do you like learning about video game history? Then you should give yourself the gift of owning some video game history books from BitMap. Since 2014, BitMap Books have published numerous colorful and well-detailed hardbound books about video games ranging from the different video game consoles of old and the various video game genres that will surely pique the interest of its core fan base. BitMap's team of global video game journalists, players, and illustrators have produced numerous award-winning titles that celebrate the software, hardware, and developers that laid down the foundations for the billion-dollar video game industry we all know and love today. International shipping is also available with careful and considerate packaging from BitMap Books. If you don't want to take my word for it, then you can believe the people, almost 10,000 satisfied customers who submitted their glowing written reviews and video reviews after receiving their books from BitMap. By ordering your first BitMap book using our link, you will also be supporting the Timeless Gamers Show in spreading our love of video games and their rich history. Start your own online live streams, webinars, podcasts, online classes, and virtual presentations with Streamyard. By using Streamyard's user friendly interface, you can also do simultaneous multi streaming if you have accounts to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and other platforms. If live streaming is not your style, video and audio recordings are also available, especially with those who have variable and inconsistent internet connections. The finished output will still come out as clear and well articulated exactly as you originally intended. You can also customize the appearance of your presentation, like green screen effects, facial touch ups to smoothen out those facial blemishes, multiple cameras for multiple guests joining in the discussion, your own wallpaper on the background, adding your own logo as a watermark, sharing videos from your own computer or other website for added visual aids with or without audio, uploading your own background music if you wish to set the mood when talking, and lots more. Before you can enjoy all of the wonderful full features of StreamYard, you can start with a 14-day free trial by using our link. Not only that you are supporting the Timeless Gamer Show, but you can see it for yourself how easy it is using StreamYard. All right. Thank you for that, sir. Okay, let's do our shameless plug. Let's start with Sir Ray and Miss Mara. Where can they find you?
You need to unmute your microphone. You're on mute.
So you can catch us on our page, studio.ph. And by the way pala, I have a ticket giveaway pa to. Ayan, naka-hide siya. So we're attending PGDX this coming July 26 and 28 and Sticky Expo. Sa PGDX, I'll be a content creator doon, and then si Mara will be artist alley. So ayun lang naman. So thank you so much to the panel and to the viewers. Yeah. Sana may napulot kayong kalokohan.
Maligo!
Yes.
Naliligo nga ako!
Shower.
Ayan. Thank you so much, guys. Mabuhay kayong lahat.
All right. Thank you for that, guys. And Sir Jomar and Miss Annie, where can they find you?
As usual, you can find me at Jomarot, and the only question is when. So you can find me at Jomarot, and also support our support ROI and the companies under it, Shuffle Emporium, Studio PH, Unlimited, and Retro. And also support the Sega Master here, Viraj, and Sir Dan. And I think that's about it. So,
All right.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh,
All right.
Love
Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you.
Love
Thank
you
you.
too.
All right. How about Sir Joan and Mr. Ed? Where can they find you?
All right. Normally, you can find me streaming on twitch.tv and kick.com under Banyagang Native. I do retro and modern game streams occasionally whenever I get the chance. I do racing games. I do fishing games. I do all the unusual, strange, weird, and unknown games. Hopefully, sometime in the near future, I'll do a series on all of these unknown, weird, strange, and unusual games with the help of our crew here in Timeless Gamer Show. Um, Please support the Retromancy Official Incorporated ROI and all the affiliated companies and the Timeless Gamer Show. We thank everybody who is here, who have listened in, who have watched the podcast, who have downloaded the podcast, who listen to it everywhere they go. Thank you, everybody. Lahat ng mga tao sa buong mundo. Maraming salamat. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate all of you. And thank you very much for joining us on this journey and to more journeys ahead in the future. Sweetie, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, just thank you everybody for having me on the show, and I enjoyed my time here.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ed. And the couple who led the show for tonight, Sheen and Miss Momo.
Okay. I'd like to thank everybody who watched the episode for tonight. Maybe I guess the only place you guys are gonna find us is usually in the shadows supporting ROI, and also to give a bit of a shout out to our other team called Protecting Ambition, Knowledge, and Youth of Understanding, which is led by Ken Asaya, the one who just visited by earlier. You would also find us supporting a new group. It's called Team Palaboy, which is a consisted of different bloggers that are creating different kinds of skits and videos. Be sure to check them out on Facebook. You just have to write Team Palaboy and you will automatically find them. Han, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, you can also find me in Dolls Lifesavers. It's a doll community which collects vintage to modern dolls. And also, you can find me in Webcom. It's a non-profit organization that promotes local independent comic creators, and also have a Darna tribe. If ever you want to join a Darn tribe as an aspiring voice artist, I can train you for free. So if you guys are interested, just contact me there in a Darn tribe and also in Webcom.
There you go.
All right, thank you for that, Shin and Miss Momo. And how about Sarbaraj? And where can they find you?
You can find me on the Sega Mega Masters channel on YouTube, and we're taking a break for a bit. Well, the videos are all there because Sedan's. I do it with Sedan and two of the other brothers. So yeah, Sega Mega Masters on YouTube where we review old retro games. You can also find me on the Sega Genesis on Facebook. I'm also typically a regular on this podcast, so you can see me. This has been a very difficult episode for me because I've had to really bite my tongue because I want to troll these couples so bad. But I didn't. Actually, not. In all honesty, you're actually very cute couples, and it's been a pleasure to be on this show, watching your other halves and how you discuss how you live your lives with gaming. It's been wonderful. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Oh, one more thing. I know nobody's even going to care or listen. Nobody from the UK watches this apart from Dan, and he's not going to come. There's a London gaming market on the 30th of June. You can find me there if you want to buy some of my wares, and that's at the Royal National Hotel in London. But anyway, back to you guys.
All right, thank you for that, Sarbaraj. And that's the show for tonight, guys. And if there's one quick message from me, no matter what the issue is between the couples, no matter what the problem is, don't sleep angry and leave the video games out of it. Okay, god damn it.
For goodness sakes, and make sure if your wife cooks your hot meal, you eat it. You pause the game.
They never did anything wrong.
The game didn't do anything wrong. Stop holding them hostages. Okay. All right. So that's the show, guys. Thank you all so much, and to all of you wonderful people down there at the chat, to those who are watching, to those who are listening. Thank you all so much. We are going. We are shooting for our 100th episode soon, and again, we can't do. We won't be here just long without all of you guys' support. So uh, let's end the show. So our games and our bodies may go out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Oh, let's not leave Sir Dan and Miss Lindsay hanging. Timeless.
All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Maraming salamat. We'll see you guys again soon. Enjoy the weekend. Bye.
Good weekend, guys. I love you, Han. Oh wait, you're here, right here. I love you.